What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to tonight's tournament. Today we are going to be doing an SFT. Classic single faction tournament, Friday night hangout, and we're going to get it started in just about a minute. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Dude, yeah, I am excited away. I saw the... So they just had an announcement trailer for a Game of Thrones RTS game that's going to be coming out next year, and it's going to have multiplayer FFA. So basically you're kind of playing with the Westeros conflict, and I would imagine they'll have some of the Eastern Kingdoms as well. But dude, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. That's like right up my alley. I love FFA games. Like you notice, we do that in Age of Empires. We do that in freaking Dune Spice Wars. We're doing that with Age of the Ring right now, playing the FFA Hunt for the Ring. Dude, I am very, very pumped up for that. That's going to be super fun. Just casting. Yeah, just casting. I need to preserve my old hand strength. I'm doing a little bit of work around the house. So, all right. So let's break it down. Let's get the tournament started. We have a big one tonight. Almost 40 people signed up, which is pretty fat. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So let's fire this up here, and we will refresh this. Looking good. One last refresh to rule them all, and then we're gonna start the tournament. You've been loving the Battle for Middle-earth? Me too. I am having so much fun with it. It's great. Battle for Middle-earth 2, but more specifically, it's the Age of the Ring mod. Of course, the root game is Battle for Middle-earth 2, but the Age of the Ring mod is basically like its own amalgamation of a game, which is freaking amazing. The team for that has done such a damn good job. So let's get this. Where was this announced? I wasn't aware of this. Yeah, go to YouTube and just search Game of Thrones RTS, and you'll see the trailer. Yeah, it's great. Okay, so let's generate the brackets for the tournament and get this thing started. We'll take a look at everything, Julian. We'll look at all the players. We'll see everybody who's signed up. And I'm just generating the first round right now. And there we go. All right, so generating the brackets. Let's fire it off. Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be round uno tonight. And Total Tavern, that's the wrong one. And Cool Beans, where are we? Up top. All right, so let me announce it. Goblins, we're live with round one. All right, so let's fire it off. And we're going to find a game to cast. All right. So, wow, we have a lot of really good players playing tonight. There's going to be, oh my God, we have some of the big dogs playing tonight. This is a fat one. Okay. It's going to get crunk real quick. So let's do B6 versus Alexander Nuts. That's going to be a fun one. B6. Lobby code, please. Let's freaking get it, man. Hey, Salty Saxon, thank you for the donation and also for being a channel member as well. Been watching you since Queen of the Crown. That's old school. That was like the olden days with the Everchosens and all that. Man, yeah, you're an OG. Love it, man. Thank you for the donation, and we're gonna keep the good times rolling. The future's bright. The future's bright for sure. There's a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. Hey JP, what's going on? Hey guys, Turin, every goblins everywhere watching from Europe. Dude, you're a champ, staying up late. Going, so for you, depending on where you are in Europe, yeah, it's got to be like 1, 2, 3 a.m. Ooh, that's late. That is late. Late is the hour. Dude, I've been getting Lord of the Rings trilogy they're my favorite movies of all time, and I love the Lord of the Rings books as well, but I haven't read those since I was a teenager. But playing the Battle for Middle-earth Age of the Ring mod has been getting me so fired up for Lord of the Rings. I was like, yeah, can we get I saw Davok in chat talking. He's like, can we get a Total War Lord of the Rings, please? That's fun. All right, so let's get this. And we're going to do that. All right, find the lobby, and there we are. All right, so this is going to be our first game of the night. It is going to be Alexander Nuts versus B6, two tournament veterans who have both won tournaments before. Oh, and we get the Dwarves versus the Skaven. Now, this is, of course, favored for Skaven a bit, but Dwarves can absolutely win it. It's more of a problem in land battle, I would say, for the Dwarves. Now, taking a look at the old tournament brackets real quick, let's pull these bad boys up and have a little gander over at who's playing tonight. So, here's our champions. We have Rakov here, unfortunately, who got a bye round. It happens. Boss Toss versus Blitzer here. Maverick Sloth versus Bob That Builder. Shaper of Fate versus Jack. Pontius Claw versus Own Goal here, formerly Tim. Renegade Moose versus Apostate Prostate. Zesty versus Hitman Hippo. I mean, you can see the list continues going on. A lot of top players are playing here tonight. So this is going to be fun. You're Eastern European, you're saying. I'm from East European. Okay, Eastern European? Whereabouts? All right. So, getting back into the match, let's freaking get it. Seeing that Lord of the Rings RTS is wild. You remember playing it? Yeah, it's so good. So freaking good. Yeah, I play Julian. I also play the Middle-earth strategy battle game. I have a Gondor army, which is really fun. So I use... I have 2 armies. Well, technically 1, but I play Gondor, so I use Boromir with his banner on the horse, and then he's just, a bunch of Gondor troops and some archers and some rangers. And then I also play the Rangers of Ithilien. So I play Rangers of Ithilien with Faramir. So it's Faramir, a couple other ranger captains. I have the Rangers of Ithilien themselves. And then I have Frodo, Sam, and Gollum in that army as well. So those are the armies I play for Middle-earth strategy battle game. Granted, I haven't played a game in ages. It's been certainly a hot minute. So yeah. Super, super fun though. It's a great game. It's actually one of Games Workshop's, I think, better rule sets. But again, it's not like super popular. The Faramir kit looks really good. It does. Yeah, Faramir's model is very, very solid. Very, very solid. So Gutsmom says, I play Easterlings on tabletop and always had to proxy their Drake, but now Games Workshop is coming out with an official model. Nice. Yeah, I wish I had more people near me to play. That's the biggest thing. I only have one buddy who plays, and he lives in Los Angeles, and he doesn't really even like the game that much, as far as I can tell. I mean, he enjoys it, but would rather play other games. Do I have a top 3 factions in Age of the Ring? You mean like top 3 strongest factions or factions that I like to play? Let me know the follow-up to that and I'll answer your question. Yeah, it's super fun though, but always good to get back to some Total War. Total War is like Total War competitive's like that comforting fire that you can always come back to, It's the anchor that we all enjoy, and we can come back and chill out. Yeah, I will. Pork, I do have interest in playing Trench Crusade someday, if I can find somebody to play with. Yeah. I started building your first 40k army. Oh, let's go. It is. It's a lot of work, actually, yeah. I have a Death Guard army in 40k. It's super fun. Yeah, they're really OP right now, actually, which is weird, because they're always kind of mediocre, like average, but yeah. It is Haggard o'clock. My favorite 3 factions to play in the Age of the Ring mod are Dol Guldur, Isengard, even though I suck with Isengard, I lose like all my games. But Dol Guldur, Isengard, and the third one is up in the air, but maybe Gondor. I do like Gondor a lot, but Misty Mountains is also freaking awesome. Like, dude, that game is the mod is so freaking good. It's so freaking good. Yeah, Death Guard is really overpowered right now. They are, yeah. They're gonna get nerfed though. It's fine. They just have some undercosted units. Like some of their Terminators, the Death Shrouds are really undercosted, and so are the drones with the explosives. Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with liking Ultramarines. Ultramarines are awesome. I've actually contemplated starting an Ultramarine army at various points. Yeah, sure. I mean, they are the vanilla kind of poster faction for for the game itself, but they have like a cool aesthetic to them. Like some of their like the swordsmen with the sword and shields, and then like the armor patterns of their like commanders, and the wreaths of like they have kind of, I don't know if it's like a Roman aesthetic they have, but I like them. Yeah, seriously, treat yourself, man. I'll hold your Necron. Yeah, Frost, someday, man. Someday when we get you, we got to get you moved out to the United States, and we can play some tabletop gaming, dude. World Eaters are cool. My only gripe with World Eaters as a faction in 40k is how damn limited their roster is. Like, God, man, the Emperor's Children, the World Eaters, and the Thousand Sons have like barely any units compared to Death Guard. Like Death Guard have a deep roster of characters and units. And then you look at like the other god factions, and they're so limited. It's like World Eaters, it's like, all right, you have your Jackals, you have your Exalted 8-bound, your Berserkers, and then the regular 8-bound. And that's like kind of it, It's like the roster's so bare bones. Yeah, Mike, it can. It takes a long time to finish the games unless you learn the rules really well, and then it can become pretty quick. Yeah. Oh, dude, Salamanders are they're probably one of my favorite Loyalist chapters. The cinematic from the Pariah Nexus, God, the Salamander in that TV show that Games Workshop did is so freaking cool. Sakan, I think, is his name. He's like, he is just an awesome character. Like, what I like about Salamanders is they don't hold like regular humans in contempt. They want to help them, and they're like altruistic. Like, whereas most of the Space Marines are like very jaded, even the good ones. Not jaded, but they just like yeah, they're all business, you know, but I really like that element of the Salamanders for a good guy faction that they like, they're homies, you know, which I like. Salamanders is definitely something I would be interested in, 100%. And the whole flamethrower thing is super cool. Reginald, we'll have to see you in action soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's break it down. Welcome to tonight's tournament, and we'll get back to the discussions about other topics in between games. Here, it's going to be a match between the Skaven and the Dwarves. So for the Skaven on this side, this is Falling Star, a.k.a. B6, one of the best Skaven players that we do have in the community, which is very, very fun. I certainly love to see it. And it is going to be a front battle line of Skaven slaves, and Skaven slaves. So not much sense in driving good quality units into the Dwarves, right? Just throw the trash into the blasting charges. Now, the actual killing power is going to be coming from the Death Globes. These things, like, if they're able to just sit and shoot, they're basically going to obliterate a Dwarven battle line in a matter of seconds. It is brutal. So we got two of those. Ikit Claw and the Doom Player with Howling Warp Gale to lock down the Gyrocopters. And then we do also have the Warp Lightning. So the Warp Lightning is there to, zap the Dwarven formations. On the outside, it is going to be Doom Players who run over the Dwarven infantry, and Sharpshooters and Jezzails here. I feel like I'm not the only one who has like a hard-on for symmetrical formations in this game. I just love doing that. All right, guys, and for the Dowie army, it's going to be blasting charges in the vanguard with Rangers, so Dwarves using their unnatural speed to get up a little bit quicker and grab the objectives. And on the outside, we do have some miners there. Is that going to be a Forbidden Flame Cannon? It is, with a Dwarven Lord, Gyrocopters, Rangers, and Quarrelers. All right, so that's going to be very, very fun. Let the games begin. Dwarves going to be grabbing Objective 1 out of the gates and grabbing Objective 2, but now the Skaven going to be showing why they have the superior firepower, as their snipers going to be setting up downtown and ripping some fat shots into the Dwarves' faces. Yep, Natty Bubo's getting some work done, and a Warp Lightning shot from B6 is able to make direct contact with the Dwarven Rangers right here. Flame Cannon to the back is just shooting into trash units, right? So it's fine. This is why you bring crappy units with Skaven. Let your weapons teams and your Doom players do all the heavy lifting, right? There's no sense in giving them like good units to roast, because Dwarven blasting charges are going to put a massive hurt on the Skaven slaves. And you can see the Skaven players actually charging in the chaff units to, use the blasting charges, right? So who doesn't love just sending your Haggard units in to get obliterated by blasting charges? Now, I'm really liking the Flame Cannon, actually. Look at the Flame Cannon there, guys. It is getting good value shooting into the Globadiers. What a cool tech to counter the Globadiers. In the meantime, the Doom players and Ikit Claw both know that this is important back here. So we see Ikit and we see the Flayers rolling dirty. You're going to need to get some Slayers out here, because these cannons are going to be essential for shutting down the Globadiers and the other important assets in the backfield. But if you just let the Slayers or the Doom players just kind of flay them up, which is what they're doing right now, you're going to have a terrible time. Slayers are being called in by Alexander Nuts. And looking here on the backside, we do see the Dwarves holding objectives 1 and 2. Skaven kind of getting melted by the flame cannons. Look at that. We do see the Death Globes getting pushed back. Skaven slaves running, blasting charges doing good work. Skaven army is going to be getting some flank support here, as the Globadiers hiding amongst the Skaven slaves are able to melt a massive portion of the Dwarven formation. And now we're going to be getting more flares moving into the battle lines to try and disrupt the shooting as well. So really unfortunate for the Dwarves losing the Flame Cannon that easily. I mean, they definitely should have seen that coming and called out a Slayer to defend that much earlier. But the Flame Cannon is going to be taken offline, and now the heavy carries for the Dwarves are going to be the Gyrocopters in tandem with the Quarrelers. One unit of Quarrelers is shut down there. And now that a lot of the Dwarven shooting and heavy firepower is being disrupted, the Skaven are going to feel comfortable calling in their heavy hitters. So the Rat Ogres have arrived, and they're going to be taking that Dwarven Lord to Pound Town pretty good. And on the backside, we do see some of the Rat Ogres getting on top of the Dwarven Miners. And the Dwarven position is going to start faltering here, unless the Rangers can stay online. We do see the Rangers getting nice pot shots in, or Quarrelers, excuse me. And they're really good against Rat Ogres. At range, they're going to be able to put them in the trash pretty effectively. So Dwarves are still holding on. Slayers are going to be their next call-in. And for the Skaven, we do have their Sharpshooters still in line. Shooting into what appears to be the Gyrocopters. Definitely good getting their snipers into the Gyros. Gyros taking some nice damage right there. Meanwhile, over on objective number 2, the Skaven are starting to get some capture weight, as the lines of the Dwarves are starting to take some beatings. No good quality units for the Skaven, just Skaven slaves. And the Globadiers were able to rally and come back. All right, that's big. Immediately, you're going to start seeing some big DPS on these Dwarves as the fighting does rage on. Back here, the Doom player that got away, it's the one that escaped. Warp Lightning being dropped on the Quarlers, not really doing much damage because it hit the big open spot. But Doom players will be able to chop through these guys. And will the Dwarves call in more artillery? No, it's going to be Slayers. So the Dwarven player, anticipating that his opponent is going to be going in on Rat Ogres, starts to call in massive amounts of Slayers. So we'll have to see. On the backside, Jezzail's doing good work. Currently, the value for these guys about 800. And yeah, they're just solid. Just sitting back here, farming value, shooting into either Slayers, and also breaking a Gyrocopter. So the snipers were able to push back the Dwarven Gyrocopters. And I believe the Skaven still have both of their Jezzails online. Yeah, so that's going to be really good for taking down these bad boys. Now, value trading is favoring the Skaven, which is pretty normal in this matchup. You know, the Dwarves will fall behind on value, but, you know, in the late game, sometimes if they didn't fall behind too badly, they're going to be able to grind it out. Warp Lightning activated by Wiki Claw over here. Icket able to get some nice value, break down the miners, and it does look like the Skaven are starting to get some good momentum, and the objectives are a little bit precarious. Here we do see the Dwarves holding Objective 1. Objective 2 is flipping to the Skaven very, very slowly, and the low ground objective, which was originally controlled by the Skaven, actually being stolen by the Dwarves, and they sent some Slayers down here. Now, Slayers are a hard counter against Rat Ogres. They're going to take these guys to absolute pound town. Hey, Chicken Nuggets, thank you for resubscribing. I greatly appreciate you, and thank you for hanging around. But the Giga Chad Slayers, the Mohawks, are too powerful. Big, hairy man-children here are going to be charging down the old Ogres, and those Ogres get broken. Cut to absolute pieces, but Skaven going to be responding with some war crimes using the Deathglow Bombardiers, which basically just eviscerate these guys. Absolutely brutal stuff. So 2 units of Death Globes getting a massive amount of value. We do see some Clan Rats coming in, but it is not a good time here for these Dwarves. Getting hit by these massive grenades is going to be brutal. And then the Skaven are going to be moving out from the trees with their Chaff Infantry, which again, another good counter against Slayers is to target them in Chaff Infantry. So that Slayer unit basically gets karate chopped, but they do manage to steal the objective. Over on objective number 2, it is going to be going to the Skaven, and objective 1 is going to be going to the Skaven as well. So the points are not even that far ahead for the Dwarves, to the point where they could be like, I'm going to Helm's Deep this. I think we could be seeing the end of the road for the Dowie. Their Lord is actually running, so the Dwarven Lord is being run down by Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres, and on the low ground here, the Slayer is just taken apart 100%. There's only 6 models left. Blasting Charge Boys going to be karate chopped here, and I think the Skaven are going to get a triple cap, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Alexander, throw in the towel here in a minute. I don't think he's got much left. Basically, has been massively outvalue traded. The Jezzails in the back, by the way, were able to use all of their value. They used all their ammunition, so 1,200 value here is very cost-effective. These ones probably even more, I would imagine. No, only about 1,000, but still very good. Able to remove a lot of Dwarven units, and on the back we do see Dwarves calling in a Gyrocopter, but Gyrocopters do not have capture weight. Flying units in this game cannot capture objectives. You know, obviously it's a huge benefit to be a flying unit, so it would be kind of unfair if you could sit above an objective and capture it, and your opponent couldn't interact with you. So, yeah, we do see some overextending Ogres getting taken out, but low ground objective is flipping there. Dwarven Lord is on the run, and Alexander might fight a little bit longer, but, you know, this is a hard matchup for Dwarves, and it's a matchup in which, you're playing against one of the best Skaven players in the community here in B6. So, it's going to be very, very tough to win. Granted, we have seen Skaven lose this matchup before in domination mode. In land battle, it's a little bit more one-sided. But those are the days of old, obviously. Now we're on the domination mode for multiplayer. But, yep, this is going to be the breaking of the Slayers, and it looks like maybe a bit of a lag spike. Hopefully it's not on my end. I don't believe so. Looks fine there. Yeah, okay, it's going to be subsiding here, and we should be fine. Skaven calling in more Skaven slaves to make sure the Dwarves don't get this objective back. We do see some Slayers and Dwarf Warriors fighting down here, but really we are going to be seeing a big old pocket of these Skaven moving in. And these are Clan Rats. So each of these units, by the way, have 5 capture weight, which is pretty brutal, right? So, like, that's one of the strengths of, like, chaff-centric factions, right? If you have cheap units that have full capture weight values at 5 and your opponent doesn't really have, like, the cost-effective capture weight units to match it, you can definitely target the objectives and do some work. All right, so the Rats are going to be moving up. Howling Warp Gale used by Icket Claw. So that is a Lure of Ruin spell that the Skaven Warlock Engineers can do, which locks down enemy flying units and keeps them from advancing. So, yeah, the Dwarves calling in a little bit of a flying air force to try and maybe push the Skaven off. We do see Gyro Bombers with their miniguns trying to get rid of the Skaven in the backfield, but I think it's a little bit too late. And even if the Air Force is able to cause some havoc and, let's say, kill the Skaven Lord, the Skaven are getting 3 victory tickets per second. They're holding on to all the objectives down here now that the 2 Clan Rats have arrived. They're going to out-capture weight these units. So infantry units in this game do lose capture weight as they take damage, right? So these Slayers originally had 5 capture weight, but now that they're below half health and have a lower model count, they're probably going to be, 3 capture weight, something in that ballpark, depending on the real nitty-gritty of the math. Gyrocopter's back here being cute, but Ikit Claw, he is a cunning Skaven, and yeah, he's able to Warp Lightning those guys again. Not Warp Lightning, but Howling Warp Gale. So they're going to be tied up with the Warp Lightning in the sky, and he's just going to be chittering away and running. His capture weight influenced by unit health. Yeah, I just explained it a little bit. I believe it's just by the remaining models, because like a unit of Aspiring Champions that's like at very low health but has all their models will still have full capture weight. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. So it's basically the remaining model count of a unit, if I'm not mistaken. Might need to, it's either that or it's the remaining health of the unit, but I'm pretty sure it's just the model count. All right, guys. Deathglow Bombardiers, able to kill Gyrocopters if they sit still. Gyrocopters getting nuked by the Globadiers. I mean, man, sign these freaking Skaven up for the NFL. Are you seeing the Olympic arms of these guys? They're able to hurl these like heavy weapons up into the sky and hit freaking helicopters. Yeah, these guys need to be drafted into the NFL, that is for sure. But these Gyrocopters getting wrecked, and Skaven are so good against Gyrocopters. They're able to actually lock down the Skyhammer and then call in one of my favorite Skaven units, which are the Rattling Gunners. Oh, they're so freaking cool. Look at the Rattling Gunners just mowing those guys down. Gyrocopters getting melted. I don't think that Dowie... Oh, and Ikit Claw gets blown up, though. He does get killed. All right, classic Skaven. I mean, are the Dwarves banking on killing Ikit Claw and then routing the Skaven army to get back in the game? I don't know, man. I don't know. But Teethbreaker is going to be trying to chase those down. The Dwarven Lord, he didn't hear no bell. He comes back with 600 HP, so that man is back, and he is pissed. But the Skaven are just so far ahead on the battlefield. They have the triple cap. They're going to be getting 1,000 points. I respect the late-game grind by the Dwarves, trying to, they sniped the Skaven Lord with their helicopters, which is good. That means that the Skaven army is going to be a lot more fickle in the leadership department. But the Death Runners are so good against Skaven. Skaven as a faction were definitely just designed to, kill the Dwarves. They've got a lot of stuff, which is lore accurate, right? Like, Dwarves are kind of set in their ways, and Skaven are innovators who are willing to do anything with technology to get the edge, right? Which you would think, lore-wise, would give them an edge over the more stubborn Dwarves who are like, we're going to use our axes and shields, and the Skaven are like, well, we're going to use literal machine guns and sniper rifles. Okay, let's see how your tradition holds up there. On the other side, Dwarven Lord and Slayer is going to be cruising in, but we do see 1054 points. Skaven are ahead in value pretty considerably. Death Runner is going to be closing the gap, but maybe going to be eating some blasting charges here if Alexander uses the shift or the force attack command. But it looks like the Death Runners are going to get in, and these poor Dwarven chaff units going to be getting absolutely cut to shreds. They're going to have a really, really bad time. Slayer's coming in to try and fight them, but again, Slayers also get countered by these units. So essentially the Dwarves just feeding units into the meat grinder here. However, they do have some Rangers. Bows are really good against Death Runners. These guys only have 20 armor and are very, very weak against bowfire. And maybe the Gyro Bomber, the Skyhammer, is going to be coming in and dropping a bomb on them. Let's see. So let's get the nice cinematic shot here. And oh, a hot steaming Dowie payload on the face of the Death Runners. Basically kills the unit. So that was a very, very good play by Alexander. But the machine guns are going to be following those bad boys around. And yeah, I think that's still going to be it. We have another unit of Jezzails coming in. The Dwarves are very tenacious. So now the Dwarves are in a position where they would need to capture all 3 objectives to win this game. So the Skaven just need to keep them off, at least 1 point. And then they could just hold that point, Helm's Deep, and call it a day. But at least we got a good cinematic bombardment right there. We are getting to see some of the nuances of this matchup. I can't help but think the Gyrocopters maybe aren't super good here with all the Jezzails being their thing. I don't know, man. I don't know what the case is with that. But they are blasting into the Ogres here. And still a rock hard triple cap. Skaven going to be reinforcing on the outside. So we got armor-piercing Wolf Rats coming in. And the Dwarves going to be sending in a blasting charge boy. The blasting charges will get ripped up by those Wolf Rats, assuming the Wolf Rats can avoid the blasting charge. We'll have to see how that all goes. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't tapped out. We're going to be approaching 1,400 points. I mean, at this point, guys, it's basically physically impossible for the Dwarf player to get all 3 objectives back. A faster faction like Tomb Kings could spam out Skeleton Horsemen or something to maybe overwhelm the objectives. But Dwarves are not a faction that really, really like to play from behind super hard. They can, absolutely. They got some tricks with some Vanguard units. But yeah, in this point, it's just game over. And he just hasn't realized it yet. Some cinematic bombardments from the Gyrocopters, but the bombs don't do much against Ogres. They're more designed against chaff units. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be 1432, 1435. Victory tickets coming up pretty quick. Dwarves getting some capture weight on this objective, but the Skaven are going to be able to just move any unit on this point and just cackle, and should be able to maintain the capture weight there. Some Death Runners coming in. The Wolf Rats on the outside were able to close the distance and get on top of the binders with blasting charges. So really, really cost-effective armor-piercing value right there. Definitely very nice. And ladies and gentlemen of the old world, that is going to be Game 1 going to Clan Wars, or more like Clan Scryer. But it is going to be Ikit Claw Doing very good. Jezzail's awesome. Death Globes, man, 2,000 value on that Death Globe right there. The Flayers both paid for themselves and some with 1,300. And looking at the Dwarf army, yeah, I mean, everything in the Skaven army seemed to get pretty good value. The Dwarves probably didn't get too much value in any one unit. And honestly, I really, really, really liked the Flame Cannon. I think if Alexander had been able to keep up the Flame Cannon and didn't throw it early in the game, that fighting could have actually gone very different, because that was his counter against the Globadiers and could fight back against the Jezzails and all those sort of things like that. So just a big misplay in the beginning. Losing the centerpiece, which was one of your few counters against the Skaven, was very, very tough. All right, guys, so that is game one in today's tournament, and I just want to thank you all for joining. No, I'm not watching it right now, William, but I might tune in. I used to be, when I was in college and high school, I was very into professional sports. I used to watch like NFL, NBA, but I don't know, as I got older, like the mercenary element of professional sports is what turns me off most. How, like the New York I mean, look, I grew up, my dad is from New York City, and he used to take me to Yankees games when I was a kid, when I was younger. Yeah, I used to enjoy that stuff, but the mercenary element of how like a rich team can kind of pay to win in sports a little bit, they can just like grab the best players, like, I don't know, that always kind of turned me off team sports, but I still enjoyed tuning in and watching it. But that for me was big. That's why I like individual sports a bit. I really like watching mixed martial arts and those type of things. But how many games is anticipated for the tourney? It's always 6 games. For a single faction tournament, it's 6 games. We have 4 rounds of standard play, and then we have the semifinals and grand finals. So that's how that's going to be. Yes. All right, so refreshing, and I just need to do a tiny bit of admin work, and we'll keep going. So no, Steve, I never lived there, but like there was times where like my dad would live there and I would visit and spend time there and things like that. So I have a lot of family out in New York City, or I did, back in the day. Okay. So just doing this. I know it pretty well. I spent some time, can get around the city. The Yankees haven't won in like 20 years, so they don't pay to win. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't know if they have. I stopped following those sports a long time ago. All right, so we are going to save this, updating these scores to the players, and how are we looking? So we are about 30 minutes in round 1. The players are allowed to have 45 minutes of regulation time, and then if they take longer than that to finish the round, there's usually a penalty, or they just get a draw or something like that. So yeah, I've lived in California my entire life. I've lived, when my wife and I first got together, my smoking hot wife, we did live in Poland for 3 months, which was super fun. Little periods of like that, of like living in other places. And like in the 90s, my dad lived in Canada for a job he was on. So I would spend like, a little month or 2 here and there in the summers, things like that. But yeah, Professor Pone says 40 minutes of army building and 5 minutes of game time. It's more like 15 minutes of game time, but you're correct. Oh, dude, I love Poland. Poland is an amazing country. The people are great. The food's great. It's safe. It's clean. It's just a great place. Yeah. So yeah, our lease comes up in October. So we're not sure where we're moving yet. We're looking all over the place. Washington State, Pacific Northwest, Northern California, staying where we are, moving to a beach town near us. Colorado, we're looking at East Coast a little bit. We're just kind of exploring everything, but we're going to pull the trigger this summer. So in the next like 3 months, we're going to be moving. We don't know where yet, but we have to make a decision. Where we live now, it's amazing, but it's just obscenely expensive. And, you got to save money. You can't just like put it all into rent and all that. Yeah. Trixie Hobbitses. Come to baby Canada, Minnesota calls. Shogunate, I'd love to visit out there. I don't know how I would handle the winters. I'm very much a child of the sun, but my wife would like it, and that's the most important thing. Hey, Kaiser, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate you. Hey, that's cool. You got a big old world scene and 40K scene down in Mexico. Nice. I've been to Mexico before. I went to, it was a long time ago. We went to a place called La Bufadora, I think is where it was. I can't quite remember where it was. I would love to visit Romania, 100%. Oh, Joan, are you from Santa Barbara? Is that where you're from? Dude, I may have seen you, bro. I went to college in Santa Barbara. Yeah. I lived in Santa Barbara for 4 years. I lived on the Mesa of Santa Barbara. Yeah, way back in the day. I love Santa Barbara. It's a great town. But I watched a match of Isengard versus Dwarves where Isengard won. They played Wildmen for a while. Yeah. Professor Pone, I think that's my big mistake. I think I go into the Urukai too quickly. But also, like, I don't know. I need to... I am going to keep practicing Isengard. I really am. Oh, dude, yeah. I love Santa Barbara. It's an amazing city. It's great. Santa Barbara's a little bit too expensive, though. I mean, yeah, it's a little too expensive probably for us. Yeah, I went to Santa Barbara City College for 3 years, and then I transferred to. It's cool that you're from there. So I went to Santa Barbara City College for 3 years, and then I transferred to Cal State University, and that's where I graduated. But yeah, the city college system is really good. I mean, all of you Europeans are probably just cackling with your free education, but in America, you know, the university system is pretty rough. I mean, the education is great, but it's just expensive. But we have a system in America where it's a city college. So they're like state colleges that you can go to, and you can finish a large portion of your undergraduate there. And then you basically save money. So you go to a city college for like 2 to 3 years, and then you transfer to a 4-year university, and you finish your education there. So it's a big way to save money. Yeah. But yeah, that's the idea. All right. Cool. So let's see if we're ready for the next round. And where are we at? Community colleges rule, man. There's like I remember when I was like going to college, or when I was getting ready to go to college, there was always like a stigma about them, like, you know, like they were looked down on, but it's really stupid. I mean, city colleges are amazing. They are what I would recommend for anybody, you know. To be honest, like my collegiate education didn't really serve. I mean, it did help in the professional life, but city college is good because you can dip your feet in a lot of different areas, right? So if you go to a city college, you can try a bunch of like undergraduate classes to see what you like, and you're not going to be getting wrecked. If you go to a 4-year university and just pay that disgusting tuition and take out student loans, not only are you going to be getting punched in the dick by the student loans, but on top of that, like you're paying a fortune to experiment and try things, and you're not even sure if you're going to like your major. So I 100% recommend city colleges. If you, I know most people here, like we're the crusty elder millennials, but there may be some folks thinking about college here. Yeah, give it a try. Hey, Soza, thank you for subscribing, by the way. Thank you so much. Mechanical engineering, nice. One of my closest friends is a civil engineer. He loves it. All right, I'm getting a bunch of messages here. All right. You got the buy rounds to a free win. Happen again. All right, so just messaging some of the players. Okay, and here we go. And who are you? Yes, you get the win. Who was your opponent? All right, so let's check it out here. So I need to figure out this player. They had their opponent drop. Let's refresh. Kha'Zix the Befouled is the go-to, yeah. If you're going to go double aspiring champion or exalted hero of Nurgle, just replace one of them with Kha'Zix. It's usually the better way to do it. Okay, so who is this person? Who are they? On the round of my opponent. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I think we're ready for the next round. No, we're just waiting on one game. Bob that Builder and Maverick Salt are playing it out. That's great. Yeah, CZR, that's awesome. That's probably one of my favorite things about living in California is just the bomb Mexican food we get. Because Southern California, we have such good Mexican food. Just getting just a big old burrito. Oh, God. And like, Mexican breakfasts are super good too. Like huevos rancheros is like some of the food of the gods. Oh God, I'm actually hungry. I haven't eaten since like this morning, and I just like totally forgot, spaced out. Dude, how many of you guys have had like just a full on huevos rancheros, or like, oh dude, it's so good. It's so good. I was in the last FFA. Well, join, Dan, if you can. Dom, we'd love to have you in there. All right, so where are we at? Checking here. Okay, so we have, yeah, so you should get the win. Need to get the point. Waiting on the last player here. And we're going. Oh, chilaquiles, dude, yeah. Everything is better in tortillas. Yeah, you know, I started cooking, like, I remember I hadn't ever done this, but I just, when I'm at the market now, I'll just grab like a roll of like really small corn tortillas or flour tortillas, and then just get like some green salsa, some salsa verde, and then just throw some, like, cook up some chicken, throw it on there with like some salsa verde and whatever else you're interested in. Dude, it's so good. It is so good. It's so addictive. Yeah. Hey, Millennium Jim. Hey, Turin, been watching since the old Warhammer 2 days. Thanks for the content, brother. Well, thank you for hanging around since those days, man. Thank you, thank you. Mabel said, I'm watching your stream with a friend, and they moaned at the sound of hearing the food you just mentioned. Yeah. Oh, just moaning with pleasure, hopefully. I wish I could enjoy Mexican food. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, but no, there's like a culture. So in California, you have like the real Mexican food, which is like traditional, but then you have like the Mexican food made for like white people, which is still, it's very good, but you can tell it's like absent of most of the heavy spicing. Yeah, but you know, it's there for you. If you can't handle the spicy stuff, you can still enjoy the culture to an extent. So don't worry about it. All right, guys, we're ready for the next round. GLHF to everybody. All right, let's frickin' get it. All right, send me over. Yeah, Frost, you know, you and the crew, you got to come visit someday, man. We'll take you to all the good spots. All right, so we're gonna advance the Swiss. Let's get this, and let's have it. All right, so we're ready for round 2, and we are going to do own goal versus Lord Shaftesbury. All set. All right, so where are we at? That is going to be yo-yo, lobby code, please. So we're going to do an own goal game, and one of the best players in the world right now you're about to see. Will Lord Shaftesbury, who's also very good, be able to pull off an upset? That is going to be the question. Oh, dude, I stop at taco trucks all the time. Like, if you see like a taco truck or like a Mexican food truck, or there's these little things in Los Angeles that I used to go to. We don't have them where I live now, but they have these like little grills, and they grill like sausage with bacon and peppers and things like that. Dude, I'll stop at those. Okay, so Hootie, Battle for Middle-earth 2, or we play, it's the Age of the Ring mod. It's completely free. You go look, it's a standalone mod that was made by the Age of the Ring team. So Google Age of the Ring, and it should be on the mod database, ModDB, and you can get it there. You can get it there for free. It's freaking awesome. Oh yeah, he's a gamer. All right, so I got the lobby code, and we have our round 2 match, so we're going to be firing this one up. And here we are. Oh, he even named the lobby Turin. How nice of him. Made it really easy to find. All right. Let's freaking get it, man. Okay. And there we go. So let's freaking get it. All right. So you want me to give oh, dude, I always get nervous when people are like, can you give a shout out to this person? Because in the early days of doing YouTube, I got tricked many a time. But we can give a shout out to your friend. Absolutely. I hope they're doing well. He's going through a tough time. Well, you know what? Have your friend shoot me a message in Discord, and we'll give him a shout out there if it is indeed the truth. I'll happily chat with them, and we'll check what's going on there. Oh, dude, I swear to God, I'm like the bartender from The Simpsons when Bart and his friends like call him and just trick him into saying like shit nonstop. That was me. Seymour, yeah, that was like the early days, dude. I got tricked so much. Oh, dude, I cannot tell you. Cause, oh man, yeah, I would be like, cause what would happen is I'd be in the middle of commentary and somebody would like, you know, throw something in chat and be like, oh, it's my birthday. Can you say like, I'd be like, oh, happy, you know, and it would instantly get me. Every time. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, oh yeah, many a times. All right. No, I'm not being tricked. No more tricks. But seriously, shout out to your homie. Hope their better times get better, and or their times get better, and we're here for them. You know, they need to chat. They can shoot me a message in Discord. All that good stuff. He's having a rough one, isn't it? What does that even mean? Well, okay, yeah. Good spirited but gullible, for sure. Yeah. All right, guys, we got our match here. This match will be for Pebbles. We got you. It's going to be Lizardmen, and we don't know what the opponent's playing yet. So let's find out what it's going to be. Okay. The opponent here is Lord Shaftesbury. I am being tagged in the realm for something. It's not my birthday yet, Puggington. It's coming. That's what she said. But it will be very soon, actually, a month from now. Yeah, July 12th. We'll do something really fun. We'll do like a big tournament or something. I don't know, something cool. Something spicy is going to go down. We don't know what it's going to be, but it'll be good for all. All right. Hey, you're welcome, Baya. You're welcome, man. That's right, Frost. That's right. Dude, that Fidel out. Oh man, dude, you guys are out of control. You call the fire department. This one's out of control. Do you remember that scene? That's one of my favorite scenes from, like, what the hell's going on here? Where did he go? Did he just leave the lobby? Let's check here. Okay. So he's gonna remake the lobby right now. But so there was a scene in Tommy. Was it? What movie is that? No, is it Happy Gilmore? No, it's not Happy Gilmore. It's Billy Madison. So I love 90s Adam Sandler stuff. It was so super fun. And Billy Madison, they're pranking the old man. So basically they get a bag of like dog poop and put it on the guy's porch. And then they light it on fire. And then the old man comes out in his underwear, remember? And he starts like stomping on it, and he's like yelling at his wife. He's like, call the fire department. This one's out of control. And the woman's like, don't put it out with your boots, Ted. That scene just lives rent free in my mind. I don't know why. It's not Big Daddy. It's not. Okay. Not sure. We might need to find another game because the other player's having trouble connecting. So I think I'm going to get a different game going. We're gonna get in there and do. I mean, it's gonna have to happen eventually. All right, so we're troubleshooting. One of the players is having trouble connecting, and we could do boss toss for Space Pope would be really fun. Yo lobby code, and they probably haven't started yet. They're probably still building their armies. Yeah, that I love that. I love that one though. It's so fun, that movie. 90s Adam Sandler was great. What was the turning point where Adam Sandler movies got like really terrible? Was it Jack and Jill? I think that was it, right? Because like Mr. Deeds was kind of fun. I remember laughing at that one. Yeah. Oh, are you asking me that, Frost? Like about the Death Guard army? It was at post Mr. Deeds? Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Deeds was like the was like the time, right? Lobby code, please. Oh man, Mexican food or Polish food? If you had to eat just that for the rest of your life, that's a really brutal question. I don't know. Pierogi, Polish pierogi might be my favorite. The problem is like I don't have access to Polish food out here, so it's really hard to like make that call. But like I don't know. I don't think I could give up pierogis. Like Polish pierogis are so freaking good. Like, if there was a store nearby that, like, just served them, I would just eat them nonstop. Okay. Oh, my God. Is it a mirror match? I think it is. It's a lizard mirror match, so we're going to cast a different game. Yeah, we're gonna cast a different match. Okay. Hey, Waiting for his response. All right, so we're going to do Space Pope versus... Is it this one? We could also do this lobby as well. All right. I respect the Adam Sandler grind, though, you know? Like, he just makes, like, haggard movies that he doesn't really... Like, he just does whatever he wants. He basically just makes movies to hang out with his friends now, I feel. Which is... I respect that, you know? That's something as you get a little bit older, it gets weird, right? Like, all of your friends will, you know, have families, move far away, you know, but he's managed to hold on to that friend group, you know? Yeah, which is cool. Oh, I love Filipino food. That was so the first time I ever got fat in my life was from Filipino food. Like, my entire life, I was always super lean, like ripped, you know, washboard abs. And then I started hanging around a bunch of Filipino people who basically would bring Filipino food into work like 3 to 4 days a week. And I got fat. It was the first time. Oh, dude, I love Indian food. Yes, Indian food's great too. Dude, you guys, God, can we stop talking about food? I haven't eaten in so long. Oh, you guys are villainous here. Okay. So we're just waiting for the lobby. Sorry about this, guys. We had a little bit of a delay, but it'll come. I think this is it. So let's get in there and see if this is the lobby. And here we go. Yeah, Filipino food definitely can put some weight on you. Oh, sweet. We get the Empire versus Wood Elves. That's going to be fun. That's a very iconic matchup. So I'm excited for this one. All right. There we go. And perfect. I need a picture of that. Which part? What do you need a picture of? You need a picture of me being obese? Is that what you want to see? I think there's some pictures from that time. There's definitely some pictures. Yeah. All right, guys. Wood Elves vs. Empire is going to be the match. Turin Gym FFA stream? No, unfortunately, my autoimmune disease pretty much wrecked me in terms of fitness. Like, I can't... I have, like, extreme pain in the tendons on my wrists, my biceps, and my hamstrings. So working out is very hard for me. I can, like, jog and run and stuff, but, like, lifting weights is off the menu now. I just, like, my wrists will just hurt. Extreme pain. It sucks. I have had Malaysian food, yeah. A long time ago. Don't really remember too much about it. Yeah, it was good times. Adam Sandler movies never change. You just got older. How dare you? Turn the punch, yeah. It was a brief cycle. Frost, so you wanted it. Were you asking about Death Guard? Like, what more do I want to see with the army? Could you ask the question again? Don't skip the Death Guard question. Okay, where is it? I'm not intentionally skipping it. As a Death Guard player... What do you feel your Death Guard armies... I don't know if they really need anything else, man. Like, I'm super satisfied with the Death Guard. We have heavy artillery tanks. We have, like, the coolest Terminators in the entire game. We have awesome zombie hordes. We have really fun characters. I mean, Mortarion is probably the best 40k model, honestly. And then you have Typhus with his big scythe, which looks really cool. Like, I don't feel we need anything in Death Guard. Like, they are freaking great. I mean, if we're talking balance-wise, they probably even need nerfs. Like, they're just a little bit too cool, a little bit too strong. Yeah, so I wasn't trying to avoid that for sure. No, I'm super hungry. Me too. No, me too, for sure. The punch, it hungers. All right, guys. I'm going to go grab some water. Would you surrender your Primarch Mortarion, though? Well, you mean, like, give him to somebody? Or, I'm not sure what you mean. The new Death Guard Codex is top tier. It really is. The rules are freaking so good. All right, so we're in here. We're just waiting for Space Pope to build his army. He's really taking his time. I'm going to be loading in here. No, Mortarion isn't even the strong part, Frost. Mortarion is good, but he's pretty balanced. The OP stuff is more so... I think right now the Death Shrouds are a little bit undercosted, and the Fetid Bloat Drones with the Blight Launchers are a little bit cracked too. The heavy bloat drones, yeah, they're only 100 points, and they're like so much better than things that are like almost 100 points more than them. Yeah. Mortarion isn't even the problem. They just need points increases. Like, Death Guard just need to be a little bit more expensive. Yeah. Cheeked up. Mothman cheeked up, yeah. All right, guys. Here we are in round 2 of today's tournament. I want to sincerely thank you all for joining. It's been a really fun run so far. You know, we've only had one game, but it was It was the moments in between where the good times were had. Just the chatting, the hanging out. Oh, Death Shroud Terminators are my favorite. Although Blight Lords are a close second. I really like Blight Lord Terminators. All right, guys, let's see what's cooking. Looking at the Elven army of Bostos, who's one of our all-time greats in Warhammer 3. He's going to be in the front with Dryka. So Dryka is really good at ripping apart Empire State Troopers. Melkoth is extremely good against Empire Heavy Cavalry, so spamming Shadow Magic is very meta against Empire. Because Empire wants to just get a full erection and ride you down with Heavy Cavalry, and basically you just use the Melkoth to drag him down. Dryad Vanguards to get the points on the backside, excuse me. We got Dryads into the sunset, so it is going to be triple Dryad. So a full Dryad, full court press against the Empire, really going to be just going for it. And yeah, the big sniping tool is coming back here as well. We have triple Waywatcher. All right, awesome sauce. So these things are pretty mean. They do a hell of a lot of damage, have huge armor piercing. If the Empire player blunders for 1 second, their big lord like Volkmar, you're going to have a pretty bad time. All right, on the other side of the battlefield, we do have the Sons of Sigmar, led by Space Pope. Front line, Spearmen, Swordsmen, Cackling Long Rifle. So these guys are pretty good against Wood Elves. I actually bring 2 of these against Wood Elves in every matchup because they outrange the Elven Archers and can put a lot of DPS down while you kind of turtle. And a freaking mortar wagon with chevrons. Oh my god, look at that. Swordsmen and a couple loose archers. So good. It is the time of the forbidden mortar wagon. The old ways have returned. The Empire innovating. The early tanks are here. You know, this is like the early tanks, right? Like a mobile weapons platform. Look at that. All right, guys. So the Empire is going to be setting up shop, and on the backside, the Wood Elves going to be coming out quickly with Dryads. So Bostos is going to be pressuring that back point super hard. We do have some State Troopers coming over, but the State Troopers are going to be having a bad time for his Dryads. Now, Volkmar does have some missile resist, but against Waywatchers, it doesn't matter too much. It's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, 1 volley! He's down half health. Oh, that's so bad. That is like the worst way to start. Oh, man. Now, Volkmar does have healing, but literally half right there, guys, is going to be tough. Yeah, Volkmar just getting punched right in the wiener. And the backside, Boss Toss going to be rolling in. Space Pope going to be pushed back here. And we do see grenade launchers. This is a really good tech here by the Empire. Grenade launchers are basically a hard counter against Dryads. If they're able to sit and shoot, they're fire damage, and I think it does fire damage. No, it actually doesn't. That's kind of weird. But yeah, you're going to see, watch this. So you're going to see the Dryads get shreked by the grenade launchers of Sigmar. Here comes the first volley, and there you go. Sweet Dryads going to get scorched, losing about 30% of their health instantly as we get more Outriders being called in to deal with the Elven onslaught. Now, Volkmar, the Volkswagen, going to be pulling back, and we do see the Waywatchers now starting to turn their sights onto the Empire Archers. So really going to be getting quite a bit of DPS on those guys while the War Wagon moves in. Grenade launcher still saturating, getting good value here. Bostos definitely cackling, though, pretty hard with that initial snipe. But this is the correct play. Wheel Volkmar around here, have him defend the back objective, out of range. Really nice burning head, by the way. So the Empire does get a good burning head onto the Waywatchers here. Able to cook 2 of those units, and now the onslaught is upon us. Dryka going to be moving into the back line as the Race of the Frozen Heart continue doing work. Broken are the Huntsmen here, with Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. And in the trees, the Cackling Long Rifles in the tree line is a bit of a funky idea. They're going to be heavily obstructed. I don't think they're shooting. I need to get those guys back here and have them shoot downtown like this. So on the backside, Volkmar the Grim getting the Volkswagen, and he is going to be doing some serious work. Rolling through the archers back here, the Dryads, excuse me. Those Dryads are going to get punished pretty badly. And is that another unit? Nope, just Dryads. All right. So the Empire on its way to getting the objectives, and now this is an incredibly precarious play for the Volkswagen. He pops the Grand Shield of Faith to give him a little bit of ward save, but he's going to be pressing into the archers. Now, if he's able to catch them without eating too many arrows to the face, that could be quite good, but the Elves are going to be getting in some Christmas cavalry, so the Wild Riders are going to probably be able to intercept Volkmar, trap him in place, and then punish him with the arrow fire. Volkmar getting nailed by another volley there feels pretty bad, as we do see Bostos going up very, very heavily in value, and the Empire losing even more assets on the backfield. Right here, we do see the Cackling Long Rifles getting taken to Pound Town. But killing Dryka with Volkmar would be nice. But yeah, that was a big misplay. Taking Volkmar out there to try and run over the Dryads, huge mistake. But the Empire does get its back objective. It is able to rout off the Dryad Vanguard. Dryka chasing down the grenade launchers. So Volkmar on his chariot is a hard counter against Dryka. Like, if they fight, Volkmar will bully. And at this point, if Volkmar hadn't overextended into the archers and had just turned around and come back here to chase down Dryka, that could have been a game-winning play for the Empire, where they would take down the Wood Elf Lord, probably get a kill, and also take away the caster from the Elves. But now Volkmar is just going to need to be very, very careful and kind of tighten it up. On the backside, Wild Riders emerging out of the trees, very cool flavor. Seeing the Elven Christmas Cavalry pop out of the bushes, and they're going to be moving in and running over these Empire Archers. These Archers are going to be having a very, very bad time. So there they go, run down, charged out of the woods are the Christmas Cavalry. The Empire probably in the position to potentially lose that objective. But the Empire is doing okay in other areas. We do see some Shock Cavalry coming out, so Empire Knights and Empire Knights. If they're able to get onto the Way Watchers, that would be a very, very nice find. Dryka in the backfield being an absolute menace as the grenade launchers of Space Pope going to be trying to weasel their way out of the position. So we will see how that all works. And now we get more Empire Heavy Cavalry being called in as well, which are very, very good against the Wood Elves. I believe a Wild Rider will defeat a Empire Knight in straight combat, but Empire Knights are a lot cheaper, and they can occupy them for a long time, and then you can call in other assets to do the heavy lifting. So Bright Wizard's lurking out here. We do see the Fire Wizard of the Empire, and on the backside, some of the Way Watchers. This is incredibly cost-effective for the Empire, using the Spearmen with shields to just chase two, like, literal 1,000 gold plus archers away. Very, very cost-effective. And now there's another Spearman coming up, and, I mean, Volkmar is still healing, right? And if he can get a kill on Dryka, that's going to be quite big. Arrow of Karn is trying to snipe him, but he's sitting at 1,200 HP. Dryka's starting to take some damage. Now, Dryka is weak to magic damage and fire damage, and Volkmar does both those things. So he surpasses her physical resist and also does do fire damage, which is going to be incredibly cost-effective right there. Empire desperately needs to hold on to its back objective, but it does look like it's in the process of flipping. A Spearman battling a Dryad right there. And the Empire kind of winning some trades here. Normally, the Wild Rider would defeat the Empire Knights, but with the Volkswagen here, he's rolling dirty here, waving his Jade Griffin, or no, I think that's the thing on his chest, or his Hammer of Sigmar, whatever the hell it's going to be. And does he get a terror route on those Wild Riders? They do actually get terrified, which is very, very big. And now they're going to be run down, and the Empire is going to be stabilizing its back objective. Now, here we do see the Free Company Militia of the Space Pope arriving. A good choice. Free Company are pretty great here. Weak against archers, but honestly against like Dryads and other lightly armored units, these Pistoliers of the Empire can do some pretty good work. And yeah, like here's the thing, guys. A massive portion of the Elven value is tied up on Volkmar. And a Burning Head, a really nice one there in the middle, going to be going fully through those Wildwood Rangers, so it takes down about 30% of their HP. But a lot of the Elven value, like I said, is tied up in Volkmar the Grim. And he's been able to heal, and he's still very functional and alive here on the battlefield with 2,000 HP. And if he gets a kill on Dryka, I mean, that's the beginning of a potential comeback for the Empire. It's still going to be very tough. I think the Wood Elves are overall ahead, but, you know, the Way Watchers can be run down and die instantly. There's a lot of things that could turn the tide of the game. But the Mortar Wagons trying to shoot. A couple of them do eat a lot of arrows, and I think the Mortar Wagons are going to be dispatched for now. I think there's only 2 of them left, and they're wavering. Way Watchers, just such good assassins right there. Such good assassins. Okay, Fire Wizard going to be running. Moving up, the Elves going to be forming a Helm's Deep on the objective, and it is Dryka going to be living right now. She is trying to kill Volkmar as well. I mean, she doesn't have good AP, but she hits very hard. Dryka has a really interesting mechanic for anybody who's a little bit newer. Basically, when Dryka gets beat up, she has Fanatical Resolve. So she's like a movie hero, basically. You know, realistically, when you take a lot of damage in a fight, you're not going to fight better. You're usually going to be, just finished off. But in, movies and games, Dryka gets stronger the more damage she gets. So she gives an aura to herself and nearby units of damage and combat stats. Very, very strong, actually. Dryka can be an absolute raid boss carry for late game block fights. So Empire going to be calling in more Empire Knights, and ammunition of the Way Watchers is still pretty good. Very well played, by the way, to boss toss for conserving ammunition. That's something that a lot of elf players do struggle with, like beginners. They just put their archers on auto fire and they just shoot at will, and that is a huge waste. With Way Watchers and elite archer units, you typically want to put fire, turn that off, so then you control their ammunition usage to make sure the ammunition is being used in the most effective means possible, right? On the back objective, still controlled by the Empire, but there is a threat back here of some Wild Riders, and Volkmar is going to be coming to try and help these Spearmen run down the Wild Riders, and we're going to see if that matters. Over on the middle, we do see objective number 2 still being held by the Hardwood. Currently, it is going to be a massive points lead for the Hardwood. And the Wildwood Rangers, pretty good against infantry. I mean, they have a bonus versus infantry, and they just hit hard in general. Granted, they are expensive and don't necessarily want to be trading with like lightly armored chaff units like swordsmen, but they'll still win it, and they will be able to get through them and get the job done. But the only method I could really see for an Empire comeback would be to get these damn Way Watchers offline. Because man, oh man, these Empire Cav, when they're moving in, they're going to be having a bad time. And did the Mortar Wagons actually rally? It looks like 2 of them did rally. All right, so the Mortar Wagons are functional once again. Back objective should be stabilized by the Free Company Militia and the Spearmen, although those Spearmen do get broken. And if the Wild Riders turn their... Yeah, he saw it. Now the Wild Riders are going to come plow these Free Company Militia. Wild Riders were in a bad place for a long time, but they're in a very good place now. And they get in, and that's going to be business being given to these troopers. Will the Free Company be able to win that with their model count and the damage discrepancy? It's going to be close. We'll tune back in just a moment and see what's cooking back there. So over on the middle objective number 2, it is going to be controlled by the Wood Elves still. Empire fighting valiantly, but I think it's the end of the road for them. We see them routed back. Heavy Cav are just going to get sniped when they come out. We see Volkmar the Grim. The Volkswagen is actually down, so Volkmar the Grim is killed by the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, and that's going to be a tap out victory for Boss Toss and the Wood Elves. I love that matchup, though. It's very, very fun. It's a cagey one. I've always felt like it's slightly Wood Elf favored in the current meta, but it's not unwinnable for Empire. Maybe like a 60-40, 55-45 type situation. But really, it just came down to Volkmar getting punished so badly early. And there was 2 things. Volkmar getting punched really, really bad, taking so much damage. And then the Hochland long rifles also didn't do anything. So like 2 of the expensive carry pieces for the Empire wasn't able to really do much of anything. And Boss Toss played a very clean game. His execution was good. His positioning was good. Not too many mistakes on his side. So GG, well played. All right, so let's see how we're looking for the next round of competition here today. We're going to refresh this, and now we can, of course, answer your questions if you guys have any. I'm back to reading chat. And all right, so we got a couple games left here. Only 4 matches left out of the 12 or so that we have. Good times, man. Good times. So how's life treating you guys? You guys all doing all right? Ricochet popped in because you just finished your match. First tourney ever. Love to see you in there. Reported a win, and I have no idea if I did it right. Please check because I don't want to bork the bracket. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure you are all good in the neighborhood. Okay, so I might need to do a little bit of admin stuff. Cool, man. Yeah, get some rest, Andrew. Hope to see you next time. All right, so checking the score. Maverick Sloth here with 1 win, and is that going to be the case here too? Cool, looks fine. And the tournament continues. The good times, they are a-rolling. Instead of a Warcraft 3 game to end the stream, can we get an Age of the Ring game? Maybe so. Yeah, I'll see if anybody's around. Oh, dude. By the way, for anybody who is missing Warcraft 3, has been wondering where it's been, tomorrow we have a massive, massive Warcraft 3 tournament. The Turin Community Warcraft 3 tournament is tomorrow. Anticity is going to be competing, and several other people that you guys have seen. Davok, Orange Pest. A lot of champions are going to be competing as well. Okoye, I don't know if anybody's playing Ogres tonight. I'm not sure. We haven't seen an Ogre game yet. It's a big tournament, so... But yeah, tomorrow at 10 a.m. we're going to be starting our event, which is going to be really, really fun. I'm super hyped for it, so... I am very hyped. Okay, so one sec, guys. I'm going to go refill my water. I'll be right back, and I appreciate all of you. I will BRB in just 1 second. All right, we're back in business. So what's going on here? How are we looking? We ready for the next round yet? The jump scare. Yes. Let the jump scare feast. Okay, so let's refresh this. Okoye, why don't you sign up with the Ogres, dude? You gotta get in here. You gotta be the change you want to see, dude. You gotta be the champion of the Great Maw. You know you want it, dude. Hey, Okoye, are you a Lord of the Rings fan, by the way? I assume most people are, but you never know. You would love the Age of the Ring. The mod we've been playing is so hilarious. There's a lot of great memes in that one. All right, so refreshing. I know. The jump scares are what we do around here. Low production value and jump scares. Yeah. Someday we'll have good production value. Someday. I'm just terrible with that kind of stuff. I micro like I'm playing with my feet. Ah, all right. Respect that. Respect that. Yeah, a little bit tricky. Hey, Max Benjim. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. All right, so we got 2 games. We got Danikin and Nautical Sky and Zesty and Jack playing. And we'll have our winner here in just a moment. And then we'll be going into round 3. I'll try and get some factions that you guys haven't seen. Yeah, I'll try and get some factions you guys haven't seen. All right, where are we at? Yeah, Puggington, that's the best part. You should play it. It's really fun. We just mess around, honestly. It's not like a competitive game, you know. Like I'm sure it could be made into one. Like we could have a sweaty tournament, but we're just memeing about, you know. Vampire counts. Let's see if anybody's playing vampire counts. So I'm gonna start perusing through the faction selection to see what people signed up as, and then we can decide who we're gonna cast. Okay, we got Nurgle, Tzeentch. Oh, do you guys want a Tzeentch game? We never get Tzeentch. They're pretty rare. I see Beastmen. I see a Chaos Dwarf Chad. Greenskins, Bretonia dropped, unfortunately. Dwarves, Nurgle. I think let's do a Tzeentch game. Yeah, let's do a Tzeentch game next round. That'll be fun. They're pretty uncommon. You don't see them a lot. Empire, we got Chaos Dwarves, we got Norska. I don't know if I'm seeing any Ogre Kingdoms signed up, though. I don't know if we saw any of those, so it is what it is. Yeah, let's do the Tzeentch game next round. Yeah, that'll be good. What is the minimum cost estimate for a PC required for Warhammer 3? Dude, that's a brutal question. Historically I've either had like a tech savvy friend build my PC or and then, you know, obviously we just order the parts, or have had a custom PC built. Yeah, like I can't answer that. I have no idea. Some people in chat might be able to answer it better. Tzeentch and the Changing of the Ways. Yeah, there's a player in the tournament who goes by the name Shaper of Fate, which is very fitting, and they're playing Tzeentch. So how are they doing? They actually just won their game. They're undefeated right now. Nice. So we have an undefeated Tzeentch player with 2 wins. So we will do that. Okoy, join us, brother. Join us in Battle for Middle-earth. We can just play FFA games, and you can just hunt the ring. It's great. So in free-for-all games in Battle for Middle-earth, Smeagol runs around the map, and you can, if you find him, you get the ring, and you can bring it back and get like a super powerful hero. Yeah, it's great. It's great fun. Yeah, I hear you, Christopher. I hear you, man. Okay. Come on, guys. Finish your match. You can do it. Put your back into it. Oh. Okay, I'm going to message them and double check how they're doing. That's not the right person. Yo, let me know when done. All right, so I just messaged the players. Hopefully it's not too laggy. It is the curse of Total War is the peer-to-peer connections. Can anyone join the FFA games on Lord of the Rings? It's tricky because we have to use a VPN to play, so it's hard to do public games with that. You're down? Sweet, Okoy. I think your people would love it, dude. Yeah. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Like a big old FFA game, just wild as shit. It's been pretty stable for us, but you know, VPNs and peer-to-peer connections are always a little bit haggard, so yeah. Yeah, Trep, maybe we will at some point, for sure. I gotta figure it out. Okay, I do want to do an open tournament at some point, so I think that would be the way. Oh, yes, they've finished. All right, guys, let's fire it up. We're going to the next round. I think the strongest player that we've had in our little play group is Davok, though, right now. He is really good. I almost beat him with Dol Guldur, but he was able to outmatch me in the end. He's very, very good. Incredibly good player. Advance to Swiss. Yeah, we have tons of new player tournaments, AJ, in our community. If you go to Total Tavern and join our Discord, we have new player tournaments on the regular. There's like at least 1 or 2 a week. Yo. Lobby code, please. All right. You think we'll ever get a Warhammer 4? Absolutely not. Yeah. I don't think so. I think Warhammer 3 is going to be the last entry in the title, but I do believe it will be supported for a couple years. Yeah. I think Warhammer 3 will be supported for a long time. Like, even if it's not like huge DLCs, I think they'll do small things. Because it's such a cool game and they put so much effort into it, I can see it being supported for a while. So, all right, let's get this. And here we go. And we are joining the Shaper of Fate's lobby. Here he goes. And this is our Tzeentch player. Spectator slot. There we are. And Lord Shaftesbury. Okay, checking here, refreshing, seeing what the buy around situation looks like. Okay, let me check their scores. Okay, one sec, guys. Just doing a little bit of this. And Lord. Sorry, guys, just doing some admin stuff here last minute, but we have a little bit of time before the game starts anyways. We now have a spectator slot in the lobby, so let's join in there. This is round 3, right? Yeah. This is round 3, I think. Okay, so it's not Borderlow Landing. We have, Demons of Chaos versus Tzeentch. That's a fun matchup. They both have access to Changebringers, and this is a funky matchup. This is not one that you see often at all. Yeah, all right, let's get it, man. Let's have some friggin' fun. All right. We'll respond after. All right, so just need to organize this. We have 2 players who are going to play each other here, so let me fix that. And do it. Do it. And while being only slightly over 40, God, I'll admit that my reaction time in games is not what it used to be. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I don't feel like I've slowed down too much. The only thing that slowed me down were my health issue, my hand problems. But even still, it hasn't hit me yet. Who is like the oldest professional gamer in the RTS sphere? Like if we look at like Warcraft 3, StarCraft, like those major competitive RTSs, like who are the like oldest competitors that we know of? I'd wonder off the top of our head. I'm sure there's some people in their late 30s. I know Age of Empires, I think, has some in their 40s. That are still competing at a very high level as well. Grubby's like, I think he's like 38 or 39. He's a couple years older than me. I'm 36, turning 37 very, very soon. Yeah. All right, so let's get that. And messaging Shaftesbury here. It's a great name, Lord Shaftesbury. That's very funny. All right, so we close that down, and let's go ahead and re-rank this matchup. So we're going to do this, and that's going to be Lord Shaftesbury being moved up here, which is going to be perfect. And there we go. And we need to get that. All right. It's going to be Lord Shaftesbury. Shaft. It's a great name. Score reported, buy round off. Okay, so let's do that. And then we need to get rid of this matchup here. Do that, and boom. All right, we got it. Hey, Magic. Thank you for the donation. The good times are now. Thanks for the streaming. Hey, I got you. We've had some really good matches tonight. That's a very generous donation, by the way. Thank you, thank you. That is quite huge. You know, one thing that I think is tricky, I feel like my speed isn't that bad, hasn't gotten worse as I've gotten older, but my focus, my ability to just laser in and be in the zone. You know how when you get when you're in a high level competitive gaming situation or sports even, there's this zone you can reach where you're just uber focused. Your brain is just clicking on all cylinders. It's harder to get to that, I think. It's still possible, obviously, but it's trickier. There's more variables, right? You have to reach. No. Yeah, that's right, Max Benjam. It'll come. She's sleeping right now, so. All right, so fix that, and we have done it. All right. So, are we started yet? Nope, they're still doing their builds. We have time. Magic D, thank you. How hard would greenskins be to learn for multiplayer? They're harder to play faction, but not impossible. There's some cookie cutter builds you could do. Magic D, man, that is way too generous. I really hope you're just some wealthy man generating that kind of money. So, oh, he just donated $400,000. Oh my God. Yeah, maybe Reginald, maybe so. Greetings from Turkey. What's up, Tarek? How you doing, man? Welcome. What is so you're from Turkey, you say? What is the food like there? Like, what are your main dishes that if somebody was visiting Turkey, that you would be like, this is the stuff that you need to eat. This is the best food that our country has to offer. I'd be curious to hear what you have to say. All right, guys. So Tzeentch versus Demons of Chaos. It's a weird matchup. It's very weird. I actually don't have too many predictions about what they're going to do. But once we get in, I do have the munchies right now. Food is on my mind. Absolutely the case. $1 million with the evil. Yeah, if somebody donated $4,000, yeah, I would march to CA's office and we would just pay for the dedicated servers for us. Yeah. Dude, you love Austin Powers? Hell yeah. Let's go. Austin Powers was pretty magical. Yeah, it was a fun series from the 90s. Okay, I'm waiting for an answer about the food here. Let's see. Baklava, that's a dessert, isn't it? Baklava is like, isn't that the like? It's like it has like some nuts in it and like pastry, and then it has like honey and that stuff is really good. When I lived in Los Angeles, I lived in Glendale, and they had a lot of Armenian food down there and like Armenian culture, and I think they had something similar to that. Has a lot in common with Greek food, is what you're saying. Okay, got it. There's a lot of Turkish restaurants in the Netherlands and Germany, from what I've heard. I got it. Give us the private multiplayer servers. Oh, dude. What I would give for dedicated servers for Total War games. What I would give. Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah, it's the flaky dessert. Baklava is so good. Yeah, I remember. Okay, we are talking about the same thing then. We are talking about the same thing. All right, so players are not quite ready. So we do have two very strong players here. Both these players are undefeated going into round number 3. So both of them are 2-0. And it is time. Diabetes. Oh, dude. You guys remember the Wilford Brimley commercials from like the late 90s, early 2000s? And they got turned into like a meme. There was like rap songs and like remixes and stuff. Wilford Brimley had that like mustache that covered his entire mouth. He'd be like, I got diabetes. It's funny, the way he says it, instead of diabetes, he's like, diabetes. Oh, shit's so funny, dude. I don't know why. My grandpa actually kind of said it like that too. When he would mention it, he would say, yeah, he would say the same thing. Diabetes. Is Shaper of Fate a Smurf? No, we know Shaper of Fate's been around forever. Reginald, they've been in a ton of tournaments. Yeah, he had a pretty iconic voice. Hey, wait. Okay. Am I just drawing like a weird parallel, or did Wilford Brimley, was he in Walker, Texas Ranger? Did he play like the wholesome like captain guy they had, like the police commander? Oh, I think he did. Gosh darn, diabetes done my dog, the wife, and my leg. Oh, man. Oh, really, Adam? I didn't know that. That's funny. All right, guys. Tzeentch is ready. Demons of Chaos will be ready here in a moment. We're going to be loading into the game. Dude, Walker, Texas Ranger is one of my favorite shows of all time. You guys remember the intro? When the eyes of the Ranger are upon you. Oh, it's so good. When you're in Texas, look behind you, because that's where the Ranger's gonna be. Oh, dude, I love it. And it just has like Chuck Norris like turning around and looking at the camera. How good was that? I could get down to some Walker, Texas Ranger theme. I wonder if we could play that on stream without getting it. No, probably not. I think YouTube is really strict. It'll like instantly shut down your stream if you play like any sort of a theme song or anything like that. Yeah, it's good times, man. I remember some very cozy moments in the 90s and early 2000s just hanging out and watching the Avatar of Justice, Walker, Texas Ranger, defeat the cartoonishly evil villains that were one-dimensional. It was so good. Oh, you're saying Chuck Norris sang that? For real? I didn't know that he did, didn't he? Yeah, it kind of sounds like him now that I think back. YouTube heard me saying, my singing was too good. It sounded like him, huh? Oh God, they're going to shut down the stream. Copyright claims incoming. The best scene in Walker, Texas Ranger is there's literally a guy in Walker, Texas Ranger who's driving like a high-powered sports car, okay? And he's driving straight at Walker, right? So he's going like 70 miles per hour, driving at Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris does a flying jump kick and flies through the guy's windshield and karate kicks him while he's in the driver's seat. He like flies through the windshield. And it's my favorite moment in Walker, Texas Ranger. The guy literally slows down. He's like, he could have just ran Chuck Norris over, but he just like intentionally slows down and just lets Chuck Norris do like a flying jump kick through the window. It is the corniest shit, but I love it so much. It's so good. All right, so we got Kairos. Oh, dude, this is fun. We got a Tzeentch Demon Prince battle. This is great flavor. Okay? This is basically like a Tzeentch Demon Prince trying to rise up and usurp Kairos Fate Weaver. Oh, very fun flavor on this matchup. This is going to be very fun. I'm excited for this one, guys. Hopefully you are as well. And Conan O'Brien had a really funny skit. So he's a late night host in America. If you guys want to see one of my favorite late night skits of all time, Google, when you have some time, look at Conan O'Brien, Walker, Texas Ranger, lever. So basically, Conan O'Brien had a gag on his show where every single time he had a lever on his desk. And when he pulled the lever, it would play like an incredibly stupid clip from Walker, Texas Ranger, like a really, really corny clip. And he kept pulling it for weeks on end, right? Like making fun of Walker, Texas Ranger, like over and over, okay? And eventually he pulls the clip on his show, and then Walker, Texas Ranger, like appears on his show, so Chuck Norris comes and like, you know, threatens him and stuff. It's really funny. That was like one of the best skits ever. Yeah, Conan is great. He was good. All right, guys. Anyways, back to Warhammer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our round 3 match between the forces of Tzeentch and the Demons of Chaos. So Shaper of Fate is going to be our Tzeentchian champion here, and he's going to be using a front line of spearmen, maybe to deal with like, you know, plague toads and flesh hounds, things like that, big monsters. Forsaken on the flanks to press up and get the objectives quickly, so he's going to be rocking double Tzeentch Forsaken. And by the way, these things are an S tier unit against the demons because they're tanky with armor against some of the light damage, and they also do magic damage, so very, very good, right? I love it so much. We got the Mutalith Vortex Beast, a bit of a risky pick against some of the Tzeentchian shooting, but if left alone, it can do a lot against the demonic infantry. And on the backside, it is going to be Kairos Fate Weaver coming in with more Forsaken charging in on the backside as well. So, ladies and gentlemen of the old world, that's going to be the Tzeentchian army looking pretty good. Now, for the demons. Nurglings in the front to vanguard on the objective, and mostly Tzeentch demons here with pinks and blues. These will be pretty good. Lots of DACA. We're going to see if they can keep them online. And Zarevek the Feathered Prince. 7,700 HP against Kairos, who's rocking 8,000. So a little bit squishier. But he's got Blue Fire and Glean Magic, and then he does also have the Gaze of Fate. So both of these Tzeentch demons do actually have snares. And on top of that, on the backside, we do have the Flesh Hounds. Oh, dude. Oh, what the hell's going on? I got caught on a pole up there. But we got 2 Flesh Hounds in Vanguard here for the demons, which is very fun. They're going to be flanking around the back, looking to jump on any of the shooting elements. But the Tzeentch army is much more aggressive. It has the Mutalith Beast. It has the Forsaken. It's got a lot of business going here, which is going to be very, very menacing indeed. So advancing up on the point, we do see the Marauder Spearmen and Forsaken having a relatively bad time, being shot by the Tzeentch firepower on the high ground. Granted, the Forsaken will be pretty good at wearing through the Nurglings. The Spearmen are the ones who do not have shields or armor, so the shooting is going to be very, very tough. But the Tzeentchian fireworks are being unleashed on both sides. Overall, the Demons of Chaos do have a little bit of a better shooting army, and now, man, all the colors of the rainbow. We got Tzeentch, we got Nurgle, Slaanesh, and Khorne. The Demons of Chaos player utilizing all the tools. But Fiends are now out. Blue Fire going to be activated, and it is going to be going into the Forsaken here. Forsaken getting taken to Pound Town pretty bad. They're shaken at -12 leadership, and they might be turning and running. All of the magic damage has been very tough, but the Mutilith Vortex Beast is pretty damn healthy, and this thing is going to crush the Demons of Chaos Infantry. We see the Nurgle Infantry here having a very, very bad time. Lore-wise, so Forsaken are not possessed. They're extremely mutated humans. They're like a level below Chaos Spawn, basically. They're humans that are so mutated and like corrupted by chaos that they basically are like mindless, like berserkers. Yeah, so they're like Chaos Spawn. They're still mortal units, but they're just heavily, heavily mutated. All right, guys, on the other side, Fiends are going to be intercepting. Beautiful play here by Daniken. This is an S-tier play by Daniken because he found the opportunity. He got the unit to attack the thing that it hard counters. Forsaken get obliterated really badly by Fiends, but there's a little bit of shooting coming in from the Shaper of Fate. Oh, nice. So Shaper of Fate using his Tzeentchian firepower here, the pinks, to actually wear down these bad boys. But on the backside, now we get the flank coming in. So the Cornate Hounds did a move through the trees, came out of the woods. They flanked the Forsaken. They flanked the pinks there. Very, very good stuff. So the side objective is won by Tzeentch. So Tzeentch is going to be cackling here. Objective number 3 is going to be held down. And now they're going to be focusing in on this other objective here, as it does look like the Tzeentchian forces are outvalue trading a little bit here. Kairos Fate Weaver going to be using a blue fire, and he's going to be going after the Fiends of Slaanesh. So very, very good stuff. So the Fiends of Slaanesh going to get it pretty good. They actually lose the model and take quite a bit of HP damage, which is very, very nice. And the Mutilith Vortex Beast, this is a big problem for the Demons of Chaos, guys. Their shooting and their ammunition is going to start becoming an issue soon. And if the Mutilith Vortex Beast is still alive in the back, in the late game, it's going to be a huge problem. And now it's going to be moving on to the things that counter it. I think that the Daniken needs to get all of these shooting elements and try and take down that freaking Mutilith Beast. Because it's just going to keep shrekking all these infantry. And he does exactly that. We see both of the pinks going in, and a really, really good call in here from Daniken. It is going to be the, oh, it's not the Angels of Decay. I was about to praise you with compliments. Still could be a good call in. I don't really know what it's good against here. It's good against Forsaken maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's okay against Forsaken. So the Mutilith Beast does get snared by the Gaze of Fate. So Zarevik the Feathered Prince does snare it down. And this is a really, really big play. This is how the Demons of Chaos get back in the game and how they potentially win it. So for Tzeentch, they need to salvage this thing. And that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be, not running on their own accord, but the Mutilith Vortex Beast is going to be fleeing the scene, getting shot by all of the pink fire volleys, which is very, very good. And now there's going to be a little bit of a Royal Rumble on this objective. Now, Tzeentch and Forsaken with their magic damage will actually not be horrific against Fiends. Fiends are favored in that fight, but they'll be able to punch back a little bit. So we do see Tzeentch with 2 units holding on the objective, a Forsaken unit as well as the Blues, and they are going to be grinding at that point. We'll see how it flips over. Plague Drones maybe going to get an opportunity to, get the job done. They are good against armor. That's like their whole thing. So using the Plague Drones to come around the back and charge the Forsaken to break them in tandem with the Fiends would be very, very good. The Muty Beast did rally, I believe. No, it shattered. Oh, that's so bad. So the Mutilith Beast shattered. Oh, that's a huge loss. And now, man, it's getting a little bit crunk nasty. Forsaken moving in. Forsaken will absolutely annihilate these little gremlins down here. Their magic damage and high DPS against the basically 0 armor of the Blues. They're a unit that's hard designed to basically just kill weaker stuff, like lightly armored units. They're what I like to call a bully unit. They're not going to trade up into elite infantry, but they're really good at bullying things weaker than them. So that's the plan. On the outside, though, the Plague Drones and the Fiends, the power combo, able to outmuscle the Tzeentchian forces on the objective. Kairos Fate Weaver going to be dropping a blue fire on the Fiends, which isn't bad. But, ladies and gentlemen, it does look like objective number 3 is going to be going to the Demons of Chaos. And the Demons of Chaos have formed what I like to call a classic RTS concave. That semicircle where you can just kind of shoot erect payloads in your opponent's face. Okay? So very, very good. There's a couple of things, right? Like Tzeentch getting crushed on objective 3 and the RTS concave and the Mutilith Vortex Beast getting pushed back. It kind of looks like the Feathered Prince might be able to work some magic here. We'll have to see. Because Tzeentch is really starting to fall behind. I mean, their army is kind of non-existent here. Not a lot left. What are these units here? So these are Centaurs of Tzeentch. Not a bad choice. They do magic damage and have a good charge bonus, so they will be able to help melt some of these units. But is it going to be enough? Okay, Centaur's getting nailed by the Gaze of Fate from Zarevik. Very nice. Their melee attack is 0, and then they get attacked by Fleshhounds. So when a unit has 0 melee attack, it basically has the minimum percentage chance to hit a unit, which I think is like 13 or 11%. So they're just going to be doing basically no damage, and that's really, really clean. And yeah, Demons of Chaos are kind of taking over the game a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, which is very good. Losing the Mutilith Vortex Beast was really big. That thing's expensive, and that was what Tzeentch really needed to kind of carry here and hold this objective against the counterpunch. Pinks are running low on ammo. They're okay fighters. I mean, they have like 27 melee defense and almost 30 weapon strength, so you can use them in melee when they run out of ammunition. That is for sure. Up in the sky, guys, we do see the Furies battling it out versus the Sky Rays. Really, really nice play by Shaper of Fate. He uses his own Gaze of Fate to lock down the Sky Rays and then attacks them with Furies. But there are going to be Plague Drones coming in with Sweet Sorrow activated. So Nurgle getting a little bit of love from Slaanesh, which is, I guess Nurgle does have some element of action when it comes to Slaanesh stuff, like STDs and all that unfortunate stuff. I'm sure he gets involved. Here, Kairos Fate Weaver dropping a blue fire, and it is going to be hitting some Houndos. Forsaken trying to wrestle the point. We have a very, very razor close game here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very tight one. With a slight favor for the Demons of Chaos right now, probably. Pinks moving up, Nurglings, they just have a lot more on the field, and Shaper of Fate is going to be losing one of the Pinks right here, so the Pink Horror is going to get taken down. Look how freaking cool this Demon Prince looks, by the way. Look, this game has a lot of haggard shit, but CA does a beautiful job with making this game cinematic and just glorious looking. Yeah, you certainly do that well. All right, so down here we do see the Fiends of Slaanesh grinding through some, Forsaken, which is what they're good at. But Shaper of Fate does call in the correct counter, and it is going to be Spearmen. So the Marauder Spearmen would probably beat this expensive Fiend unit, but with Zarevet coming in, and the Plague Drones rear charging, might be able to get a leadership break, and an army ability is going to be called in right now. I don't know what army ability that is. So let's see which one it's going to be. It looks like it is going to be the Tzeentch missile ability on top of the Fiends. Yeah, looking real tough for old Tzeentch. Danikentrop has been holding the double cap for a long time. Objective 2 firmly in their control. Objective 3 is in flux, but the Alpha Strike, an overwhelming amount of demonic units here, able to get some very, very good pressure. And, the back objective of Tzeentch is in trouble. They have a blue here. They have a pink Marauder Spears being called in after the other unit of Marauder Spears did get wrecked. But the Demons just have more stopping power on the battlefield, guys. They have the Fiends, they have the Doggos here, the Hounds of the Blood Hunt. Plague Drones are cackling it up, and Nurgling's actually coming out of the Vanguard through the woods, it looks like. And the back objective is going to be captured here. And it does look like it's going to be a victory for the Demons of Chaos in this game. Chaos is, the Demons are strong. The whole undivided thing, right? That's really a thing. I mean, you do get to bring many elements of the best units. There were some things that Tzeentch should have brought that would have been S tier in this matchup. For example, the Doom Knights. The Knights of Immolation are really good here. Their magic damage and their bombardments, they can just absolutely wreck the Pinks and can do flybys using their Tzeentchian bombardment. Very, very good. All right, so triple cap. Demons of Chaos do manage to push Tzeentch back all the way to the Shadow Realm. A couple Spearmen going to be heading over here with Marauder Horsemen. But ladies and gentlemen of the old world, that is going to be it. It's not my first rodeo. I have casted many of these games, been casting for, how many years now, man? Almost 10 years, like 8.5, 9 years, and we know a game is over when it's over. All right, guys. Demons of Chaos, we're kind of losing that in the beginning, but they counterpunched the overextending Mutilith Vortex Beast, got the job done, and that was that. So value, looking at these units, Severed Claw is also not bad, yes. Yeah, Pinks were really good. Look at that. 1,200 there, 1,300. Super awesome. And for the rest of the army, the Fiends, 1,100. Whoa, hold on. Oh my God, we had 2 units get the exact same value. I don't know if I've ever seen that. So 1,132 and 1,132. That's kind of a weird coincidence there, but yeah, all right. Kairos did all right. Mutilith Beast held the 400 value is one of the main reasons Shaper lost that game, but it was still an absolute Chad for bringing that big monster. GG, well played. All right. Now, just because the Tzeentch player lost that game does not mean that they're eliminated from the tournament. With a 2-1 record, they can still make it if they win their next round game to the top 4. Yeah, that's right, Cadians. That's right, Frost. Yeah. Rue Devil shouted me out in his latest video. He's been casting Battle from Middle Earth for 12 years. I'll check him out. Yeah. If any of you guys know him, you can have him message me. I would love to, check out his stuff. All right, so what is cooking? Where are we at? Let's see what we got. And where are we? Are we ready for the next game? Dude, I'm so hungry right now. Holy shit, I really should have eaten before the stream. Oh, it's going to be one of those games, guys. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., we got the major Warcraft 3 event, which is going to be uber fun. We're going to be casting 4 best of 5s, so each of which will probably take an hour to an hour and a half. The first best of 5 we're casting is going to be a match between Orange Pest and Neo. So that's going to be really fun. The player who plays Orange Pest is playing Orcs, and Neo is playing Undead, and the Undead player is a Pit Lord first player. That's literally all this man does. He just straight up plays Pit Lord nonstop. It is the power fantasy that you guys are all here for. Oh no, it's okay, Frost. Anticity could win it. He hasn't put in as much effort as maybe Orange Pest has, but he is so good at RTS, he could certainly pull off an upset. I would say Orange Pest is probably the favorite to win it right now. He is the highest elo. He got 1500 elo, like very quickly, and he had never played Warcraft 3 before. Just an absolute natural. So, all right. And where are we at? Are we ready for round 4? The 4th and final round of regulation. Anticity's got the Farseer Harass down. That's going to get him very far. Farseer Harass is very big. Yeah. Dude, you know what? So they just opened a new restaurant. Not a new restaurant, but a fast food place. I think my favorite fast food is the Hamburger Habit. Have you guys... I don't know if it's in the rest of the United States, but dude, the Hamburger Habit is so freaking good. I don't know what it is with their burgers, man, but it just puts like McDonald's to absolute shame. Granted, it's a bit more expensive, so, you know, I guess you get what you pay for, but never heard of it? Oh, dude, I think it might be a California-only chain, because I know Hamburger Habit started in Santa Barbara, so maybe that's what's going on there. You want to see Goblin Tinker tomorrow? I don't know if you're going to get that. Tinker doesn't seem too popular amongst the players I've seen. All right, so let's refresh it. And are we ready for the next round? It became an East Coast thing about 10 years ago. Got it. All right, so 3 matches. We got Ridley and Space Pope, Bob and Christopher, and Hitman Hippo and Boss Toss having an absolute sweat fest over there, which is fun. We're going to be getting into top 4 here. Yeah, it's okay. That's true. You know, I had a McDonald's burger recently. So I had a live stream like a week ago. I hadn't eaten McDonald's in like probably 12 years. I had a live stream another night, and it went really late, and I didn't have any food in the fridge. I just had finished the last of the groceries. And so I just went to McDonald's because I was desperate. And I was like, it could have been worse, honestly, you know? It could have been worse. Just like a simple burger with like no cheese on it and just like some, you know, pickles or whatever. It wasn't great. Look, it was, but when you're hungry and it's late night, and you know, it'll get the job done. 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. Got to take this call. I will be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you for your patience. And are we ready for the next round? Well, let's find out. So I live in a town where everything closes at like 6 p.m. I mean, the grocery stores stay open until like 9 or 10, but like restaurants and like any sort of food services are like everything closes at like 6 or 7. It's a very sleepy town. So yeah, I definitely appreciate places that stay open. Dude, if anyone from Applebee's corporate is watching, you need to reach out. We need to collaborate with Applebee's. And just imagine all the European players in our tournaments, like they win the prize and it's like an Applebee's gift card. Oh god, that'd be so haggard. Yeah, maybe Panda, maybe it was the university, who knows. Okay, let's refresh this. One person, Bob that Builder and Christopher, still duking it out. I never have Sean. I never tried it. Where is it? Is that something here in the States? Yeah, it sounds good, man. We should just change the thumbnail of the stream to like a giant hot dog, because that's all we're talking about. The Forbidden Hot Dog stream will return. Those were some wild times. All right, let's see. Turin is keeping Applebee's in business purely by buying gift cards from them for his tournament rewards. Oh man, I the last time I ate at Applebee's was 10 years ago. No, 9 years ago. 9 years ago. It was when I won that Applebee's gift card at my old job. It's like the most American thing ever, you know, like how like they'll work you like 70, 80 hours a week, and then so at my old company, I got Employee of the Year. So they brought me up in front of the company and gave me like a big reward, like award. It's like a plaque, which was very cool and very heartfelt. And then they gave me, it was like a $20 or $25 gift card, or maybe even $15. I can't remember. Gift card to Applebee's. Oh my God. I was like, this isn't even enough to get an appetizer, bro. You know? Yeah. It was pretty funny though. No, those were good times. All right. Let's check here. How are we looking? Let's refresh it. Are we ready for round 4? Oh, Bob and Christopher having an unholy duel of fates. What's up, Indie Pride? How you doing, man? Yeah, that was my crowning achievement. That was really funny. So like, yeah, I worked at this company. I got the Applebee's gift card as a employee of the year, and then I remember meeting with my friend who was a civil engineer, and so he just started working as a civil engineer, and he's like, yeah, you know, they just gave me like a $30,000 bonus for the year, and I was like looking at my Applebee's gift card with like just resentment and oh God, that was so funny. Yeah, good times, man. That was pretty hilarious. The worst fast food you've ever had, says Decay, was Domino's. Yeah, Domino's gave me the worst food poisoning I've ever had in my life. I was like laying in the shower, just like suffering, like just absolute pain. Yeah, the worst food poisoning I've ever had that was probably borderline hospitalization was from Domino's, 100%. It was just so painful. Thank you for making our company money. All this money. Here's a $20 gift card. Yeah. Yeah, good times. All right. But you know, when I was a kid, I enjoyed Domino's. It was just like, you know, when you're like a 12-year-old, Domino's is sweet, you know? Yeah, you just don't know any better. I don't know how they got it, Whiskey. I suspect it was, my pizza had ham on it, so I suspect there was like an old piece of meat that they just was expired and they didn't notice. Yeah. No idea. All right. So how are we looking? I think we're good. We're ready for round 4, and all right, let's advance it. This is the 4th and final round of regulation, and then we have 2 more matches after this. We have finals and semifinal. All right, round 4 is live. Let's announce it to the old goblins. Good luck, have fun. And here we go. Goblins, round 4 is live. So this is the last round before we get into the top 4. Let's do a Hitman Hippo versus Renegade Moose. We have a hippopotamus versus a moose. That'll be fun. Lobby code, please. All right, let's get it. Yeah, early 2000s had some really weird like advertising for the for fast food restaurants. Do you guys remember? Okay, have you ever looked at the Quiznos? Like early 2000s Quiznos advertisements, Quiznos sandwiches. That was some of the weirdest shit you will ever see. Indie Pride saying the worst food poisoning you ever had was frozen popcorn shrimp from a frozen grocery store section. Oh, dude, that's so rough, Morgan. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. All right, so waiting for the lobby code, and we'll get it from Renegade Moose also. Lobby code. And sure, we can get you on Tavern. Just saw this. All right. Here we go. Quiznos was very good. Like, I actually really like their sandwiches. But the problem with Quiznos sandwiches were how disgustingly expensive they were for the time. Like paying like $11, $12, $13 for a sandwich in 2005 was just rough, right? When Subway at that point still had the $5 footlongs. So you could still, you could still work with Subway. Subway now, you pay like $7 for like a half a sub, and it's just like terrible quality, I don't think it was my Discord that made a noise. Yeah, because those are like 2 echelons above Subway, right? Right. Okay. Let's do that. Join the old lobby here. And the moose is loose. No password in the lobby, so I'm going to need to rejoin it. The moose is loose. The moose is loose. All right, so there we go. And in his lobby. Join us. All right, so Hippo's going to be on the way over, and we have High Elves. Ah, cool. So we have a High Elf game. A good change of pace. Because this was essentially a pyramid scheme, was it? I don't know of that drama. I've not heard those whispers. Yeah, Jersey Mike's is really expensive too, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Subway's pretty rough now. It's pretty rough. Subway's had better days. Yeah, it's had better days. All right, guys. Oh, somebody wanted vampire counts. Here we go. So we get High Elves versus vampire counts here on the Creeping Swamp, which is very much a map for creepy, crawly vampire count creatures. Awesome, awesome. So we'll see how this match goes. And the good times will continue to roll. Wasn't Subway classified as a dessert due to... It wasn't in the United States, but I think there was a European country that was restricting Subway because of their bread not meeting the criteria for being actual bread. Jared did. Yeah, Subway isn't the only thing there. That's for sure. Yeah, Indy, it sucks, dude. It definitely sucks. Dude, the Game of Thrones RTS announcement looks sweet. They only showed a cinematic trailer, but I was very hyped for it. Just because it's a multiplayer RTS game designed for free-for-all. So that means there's going to be intrigue, there's going to be politics, there's going to be backstabbing, and awesome RTS fighting, potentially, if it's done correctly. RTS, FFA RTS, Age of Empires, Dune Spice Wars, these are games that are really good for old crusty RTS gamers because it fulfills your itch to sweat in an RTS game, but it takes the pressure off that you normally feel during a 1v1 sweaty ladder experience. I think that's a really, really good solution. It's not the retirement home for RTS players. It's getting close. But the retirement home for RTS players is auto battlers. Auto battlers are 100. Mechabellum is where you put an RTS player out to pasture. It's you were a high-level StarCraft grandmaster, but you're getting a little bit old. Send him to play Mechabellum. That's where you take old Yeller back. That's where it is. Yeah. The pressure, you don't have the pressure and the stress for sure. Owen Chubb, hey Turin, you still got it. Thank you, Chubb. I appreciate it. I hope I still got it. We're going, man. Yeah, fast food definitely over the last 10 years is just not cheap anymore. It used to be. I used to go to high school football practice and then afterwards go to Subway, get a $5 footlong, and you're just set, dude. It's true, Davok. Search your feelings. You're fighting against the dying of the light, though, for sure. You're still crushing it in RTS. Auto resolve visualizer. I kind of feel attacked right now as an old school StarCraft player. Yeah, it's true though. I still love sweating in RTS ladder. I play Warcraft 3 Champions at around 1600 elo, which is very sweaty. I'm still doing, Total War competitive, but I hear the siren call of the retirement home. I see there are some nights where I'm I don't feel like sweating. I just want to go play an auto battler kind of game. Yeah. Which is pretty fun. All right. So how are we looking? Yep. Matchup's all set. High Elves are going to be readying up here in a moment. We're going to be getting it going. You're saying the gameplay video for the new Lord of the Rings or the new Game of Thrones RTS looks like Battle for Middle-earth? That's a good thing. A modern version of that? That's hype. Sneaksy hobbitses. Sneaksy hobbitses. Yeah, Inferno. That's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, the Age of the Ring has a bit of Total War in it because it has regimental combat, and it also has a bit of Warcraft 3 because there's creeping and heroes. It's a really interesting combo, you know. As somebody with a decent mind for strategy but bad APM, yeah, Mechabellum is really popular, and I've had it recommended to me 100 times, bro. Check it out. I might actually play it myself, but I play Direct Strike on Warcraft 3 right now for my auto battler fix. But yeah, it's fun. Mechabellum. Professor Pone loves it. He plays it all the time. Yeah. All right. So it is going to be oh, I love that build. Look at that. Oh, God. It's the triple Shadow Walker with Techless. Dude, that's a dank build. But he's going to be facing off against a heavy cavalry build for the vampire counts. Oh, my God. Triple Black Knight with a Blood Knight as well, and only 2 infantry? This is about as off meta as you get. This is extremely off meta. Wowza. All right, guys, fasten those seatbelts. Let the good times roll. How long have you been streaming for? Almost 2 hours? These tournaments do go pretty quick. It will be a quicker stream tonight. I'm going to get to the finals, and as soon as the finals are over, we're probably going to have to call it. I have some family visiting, so that is that. Imagine Turin playing an old city builder. I used to play all the old school city builder games back in the 90s. Like, I played the Rome one, the original, oh, God, what was it called? Oh, I can't remember. But I did used to play those games. They were fun. Anticity did both builds first, did he? All right, guys, let's get it. Let's have some fun. Spawning in on the south side of the battlefield, it's going to be Hitman Hippo, the Lord of the Night. A Necromancer who's going to be stroking his Forbidden Rod. We do also have a Necromancer on a corpse cart with a Forbidden Rod. And Heinrich Kemmler as well, the Lich Master. And he's going to be spamming Winds of Death. So the idea here in this situation was to use 2 Forbidden Rods to get a shit ton of Winds of Magic. And use that Winds of Magic to obliterate elite high elf units using Winds of Death, which is pretty good. So mass cavalry for the vampire counts. Oh my God, it's going to be Black Knights, Varix Reavers, and more Black Knights. That is freaking awesome. Crypt Ghouls are a nice little vanguard unit. They're kind of weak against elves though. I mean, the elven cavalry and archers can rip them to shreds, but if you just want somebody to move up and grab the objectives quickly, they're good for that. Now for the elves, it's going to be a super dank army. It's going to be rangers in the front. We got 2 rangers backed up by triple Shadow Walker. Now these are one of the coolest units in the game, very Tolkien-esque. But they're rad. Pretty good at melee combat. Like, they could beat a Crypt Ghoul in combat, and they can beat Vampire Chaff units with 40, 32, 34 in combat stats. And they have good range with decent damage. No armor piercing like Way Watchers, but, I mean, they have some AP, but it's not exceptional. It's only 5 AP. Up in the sky, it is going to be Techless and Peckless. So, Peckless on his bird with Flock of Doom and Nets, and he's also going to be rocking a second Arcane Phoenix. I really like the Scythe build. It's very fun. It has a lot of battlefield agency, maneuverability, sniping. I think it's fun. I'm curious to see how he's going to deal with the triple cavalry or quad cav, because the Shadow Walkers, what I would probably do if I were in his situation, if I were playing as Renegade Moose, I'd pull all my archers down this way, set up shop here, and then start calling in like Fireborn and a couple tools to defend them, right? Because if those cavalry are able to get on those archers, you're going to have an extremely bad time. And honestly, the cavalry will wreck the rangers really bad too. They're going to get shreked in the face. So in the back, we do have zombies being called out. What is he doing with the zombies? He uses the zombie summons with the necromancers. Okay, and some weird cult activity back there. I don't know. It's weird stuff. So charging on up are the Blood Knights, and honestly, the elves don't really have anything to stop this right now. Phoenixes are the only thing. Techless did bring his net, so netting these guys down to be pretty big. He does see the archers, but that shouldn't make him want to run. They're only Shadow Walkers, right? But the Shadow Walkers, he's having like a little bit of a flashback to, maybe those being Way Watchers. He's like, oh God, ambushing elves, they're Way Watchers, they're going to kill me. But they're just Shadow Walkers, They are just Shadow Walkers. Now, what is this? Like, he has zombie summons. Is there any like synergy he's trying to build up? I don't know what's going on back here. This is like some weird shit. And meanwhile, the cavalry units are on the map. And guys, Hitman Hippo is a major event winner, That's the power up the Master of the... Oh, the Master of the Dead passive. So the Master of the Dead, when units die near him, he gets to build it up. So he's basically giving up battlefield agency, not fighting and letting his opponent have the objectives to build up the Master of the Dead. Now, it does give a heal per second, which isn't like insane, but it is 0.05, which isn't useless. I've never seen that. Okay, that's some interesting tech. So the zombies are going to be disappearing here soon. And we're going to have to see how that works. That's very, very interesting. All right. So on the other side, we do see the heavy cavalry of the Elves looking to move in. But like now his opponent has time to prepare. We see the Fireborn out. Fireborn are going to annihilate most of these cavalry with the exception of Blood Knights, who they'll have a good fight with. But on the backside, the Phoenix is attacking. It does use its Flamestorm ability on the zombies down there. And up here, Heinrich Kemmler, does the Master of the Dead get fully filled? I think only he has it, right? Yeah, so it's fully filled up now. So now he has his healing ability. He replenishes units. I don't know if it resurrects units, but it is going to be healing. And now he has a constant healing. It's only genius if it works. Yeah, it's very clever. Very, very clever. You know, clever girl. So the Elves do have a foothold on the objectives. Renegade Moose is looking pretty comfortable. We do see the Gremlins down here. So the Smeagol's. These guys are literally the Smeagol's of of Warhammer. They're going to be creeping down here looking for the ring. Yeah, I feel like that trick is cool, but it's not like a game-breaking ability. Because a 0.05 heal, like Corpse Carts do the same thing, right? So I guess it's not bad. If there's like a long battle and they can grind it out, it's something to think about. More Dragon Prince is going to be on the way, and the Elves are setting up shop, guarding Objective 2 and 1 with their lives. Meanwhile, the sneaky Gremlin's going to be coming around the back, looking to ambush right there. And Objective number 2 maybe going to be going. I think it's a big mistake for the Elves to relinquish this objective. I think they should move up with at least their Rangers, maybe some Spearmen, and try and contest that point. Park some Dragon Princes up here. Zombies going to be on their way over, and the Rangers do get that. Currently looking at the points lead, we do see it favoring... who had the points here? Yeah, so Vampire Counts had that one. High Elves should have the points lead here. Yeah, they should have the points lead, but they're going to be creeping up. And the fighting will erupt soon. Heavy cavalry waiting in the wings. Both players just posturing for the objectives. Vampire Counts calling in a Terrorgeist, which is quite nice. And really nice Flock of Doom. So the Elves going to be casting a Flock of Doom on the two Black Knight units, although it only hits one of them, which is weird. And here comes the charge. Actually going to be doing it. Do it. Do it. He moves in, getting a big charge. A lot of Rangers going to be sent flying, but like the Dragon Princes were on standby, waiting for that. And 2 Phoenixes as well. Oh, and the Phoenix Bombardment's going to be coming in. Really nice play there. That's going to be shrekking those heavy cavalry and lighting them on fire, which is going to be mitigating their healing. So beautiful play there from our Elven champion. Renegade Moose getting a very favorable trade, I do dare say. So up in the top, Vampire Counts are, they're creeping on points, getting 1 victory ticket per second. So it looks like they did have the lead out of the gates here. But the Elves and the Dire Pack are going to be counterattacking. Dire Pack is a grindy unit. Now, Heinrich Kemmler's in the fight. He does have his Black Knights here and is going to be healing him. Dire Pack will do okay damage against these units because they do have a bonus versus large against big targets of 14, which is actually very, very substantial. Objective 1 owned by the High Elves. And now the Gremlins are in the backfield. Okay, the Golems are going for the ambush here. And now Renegade Moose is going to see this for the first time. Now, Shadow Walkers can probably fight them off, but still not something that you want. And he does move the Shadow Walkers forward, unintentionally, I believe. And the Fireborn are going to be able to fight the Golems. But what is he going to do with these guys? We do see Illyrian Reavers coming out. The other Reavers going to be turning around and going after the Smeagol's as well. And the 2 Shadow Walker warriors going to be forming ranks. And they're going to be firing most likely into the Smeagol's in the backfield. Or just saving their ammunition and letting the Reavers handle that. So the High Elf Elite Cav do come in the backfield and are able to punish the Crypt Ghouls a little bit. On the middle objective, it is owned by the Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts just kind of sitting very chill up on the high ground with those units here. But waves and waves of the dead are on the way, and Heinrich going for a big Winds of Death. This could be big. It's going to hit a lot of units. Okay, Reavers are dead. Rangers are dead. Oh, Dragon Princes get wrecked also. What a good Winds of Death. Oh my god, that High Elf army just got punished so freaking hard. Rangers, Reavers, Dragon Princes, all those units getting just crushed right there, which is not fun for the Elves. In response, there's going to be a big Flock of Doom from Renegade Moose, so very, very good. That's going to be hitting a lot of the expensive Vampire units, including their Elite Cav units. Phoenix is on the way in, and it looks like another bombardment's going to be active. Pekka's going to be landing over here to try and wear down the zombies and some of the units on the flank. Another Firestorm bombardment from the Arcane Phoenix. And the one thing that's going very, very well for the Elves is the fact that their Shadow Warriors are all healthy and online. That's a lot of stopping power that you can use against the lightly armored units. You do not want to be shooting Skeleton Spearmen. So a little bit sloppy from Renegade Moose not using the fire. He's using fire at will, so they just shoot at whatever. You should be controlling your ammunition usage and shooting at the the corpse carts and the more expensive things like Cryptors when they do come in there, right? But chaff unit's going to be swarming on the flanks, and we do see some Reavers coming in, but that is a big collapse there. Vampire counts do have the objectives, and they're very beat up. Currently, as it stands right now, we do see old Heinrich Kemmler gathering here, and he's going to be healing his units. So we have the Necromancer with the healing, and it should be stacking. Okay, that's a lot of healing here, ladies and gentlemen. Overcasted Invocation, healing from the Corpse Cart, which has the Vigor Mortis, which heals, I believe. Not that one, but yeah, there it is, the Unholy Lodestone. So pretty good healing. When you mix that together with Heinrich, they do stack because they're different abilities. I don't hate that. In the meantime, though, the Elves are dominating the skies. Peckless and his pet Arcane Phoenix absolutely show this thing who's boss. So the Goose is getting cooked. It's at -5 leadership, getting bullied by those very, very fancy units here. And the Vampires did rotate, take the middle objective, but the Elves going to be using their mobility and their Dragon Princes to rotate over to the high ground objective and take that one. Meanwhile, the Elves have kind of decentralized their combat. They're not really fighting in melee anymore, just using their Shadow Walkers and their mobility to kind of harry and fight on the side objectives. Big fight going down here as the Fireborn clash, and now the Flock of Doom, the Fireborn, and the 2 birds are going to be coming in for the kill. This could be big trouble for Hitman Hippo, as Heinrich Kemmler is actually netted. Teclis dropping a net on the Master Necromancer, and the 2 birds are giving him the business. With the fire damage, that's going to be incredibly good. Sitting at a very, very low amount of leadership. Invocation of Nehet going to be healing him, with the fire damage mitigating some of that. Fireborn doing very, very well. Very stalwart units, but they are getting a little bit fickle. But if Heinrich Kemmler gets killed here, it's probably going to be GG. I mean, that might be enough to just end the game. He gets trapped by the double-dreaded Phoenix. There's no Vargulfs or nothing big to really protect him. And these birds, they are very, very good. Yeah, the chicken fight's going down. Heinrich Kemmler escapes, just barely. He's at -18 leadership. He's crumbling right now. He's weaseling, trying to get away here. But I think that the evil Necromancer has perhaps met his end. Oh, and the Elven Archers finishing the job and getting her done, in the words of our prophet, Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. All right. Phoenixes are in good shape. Vampiric crumbling is going to be a real, real big problem here, guys. And now I think that the Elves are going to start to run away, because there's nothing here that can really stop the big birds from getting the job done. And that's going to be GG. Victory for the High Elves and for Asuryan. What a fun match. That was a great one. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some High Elf Vampire count action. Very sweaty, very fast, very furious. And yeah, that is it. Looking at the value on Teclis, 4,200, 2,500 here, 1,000, 700, and 600 there. Pretty good value, honestly, for most of the Elves. Fireborn got 1,900 too. The heavy cav of the Vampires really failed horribly. None of them got over 600 value, so that was probably why he lost the game. Yep, a cool experiment though. Did not hate it. He's just taking a nap. He's just resting his eyes. It's like, you know, when you watch a movie when you're a kid and there's like a really sad death, your parents are like, they're just resting their eyes. All right. So guys, that is that. And now we are going to be moving to the semifinals of tonight's tournament, which is going to be great fun. We still have a couple minutes, I believe. Okay. Yes, we do. B6 getting a bye round. So let me check their points here. And B6 has currently won. We saw them win the first game, so I do need to do a fix on this one. So let's get that and fix their points, give them their bye round points, because it does matter for tiebreakers. All right. Yeah, Vargulfs could work for sure. I don't know. We have Maximilian in chat. He's very good at the vampire count, so he could answer that question. I don't really know too much about those guys. All right. There we go. Hey, Daximus, thank you for resubscribing. I really appreciate you, boss. And, okay, somebody already fixed that, so we are golden. So, hope life's been treating you guys well. Got a fun little match tonight. Had some good duels. Most of the players are wrapping up right now. I'm going to be right back. And then we'll be getting into the semifinals as soon as I return. All right, guys, I am back. Hope you didn't miss me too much. And let's see how we're doing. Let the Nurglings feast. We did see some Nurglings tonight, actually. All right, so a handful of games, undefeated players. We have Boss Toss is guaranteed a spot. And we have a couple other players duking it out to see who's going to make it. Awesome sauce. It's going to be good. It's going to be good indeed. Are you guys ready for our new overlords in the next update? Are you ready for Slaanesh to just absolutely slap every other faction? It's going to be fun. You ever play custom games for Lord of the Rings in Brood War? Oh, absolutely, Strigoi. So Warcraft 3 had a really good custom games back in the day for Lord of the Rings, where you basically play out the War of the Ring. It's very, very fun. Yeah, it's very fun. I played the hell out of those games, man. 100%. Like, I used to just play Warcraft. There was years at a time where all I did was play Warcraft 3 custom games with the homies. Yeah, those were good times. Oh, I don't remember what the game mode was called. It was like War of the Ring or something. It was. You can still find custom lobbies. Yeah. Don't they already do that already? They do, but it's only going to get worse. Slaanesh is only going to get worse. The escalation will be real. Yeah, those are Warcraft 3 custom games are so goated. I mean, it created Dota and League of Legends. Just some dudes sitting in there in their rooms making custom games are the reason why we have like League and MOBA games and Dota. It's pretty amazing. If you really think about it. All right, so who's going to make top 4? We might see Renegade Moose probably just qualified for top 4. It's more a matter of seeing what other champions are going to make it. Most likely Own Goal and Danikin have a good chance. Yeah, I think that could happen. Own Goal is where? He's right over here somewhere. Oh, his tiebreaker is pretty weak sauce, so he has to win this. Do you remember the Master Crafters? Oh, it sounds familiar, AJ. I don't quite remember that. Yeah. I don't quite remember that. Yeah, it's taking me back though, man. The summers of 2003 and 4 playing all the custom, super, super fun. All right, refreshing. Let's do it. I'm very excited for tomorrow's tournament though, man. That's going to be great. The Warcraft 3 grand finale. I want to see, man, the prize for that tournament's cool. And I think that's what we're going to start doing for our Total Tavern finals. We'll still have a bit of a cash prize, but maybe I'm going to put some of the prize money towards creating a trophy with like a custom miniature of the faction they won with. I think that's a cooler prize, you know? I mean, for some people they might, or I could give people the option. Do you just want the cash or do you want the mini? Yeah. Yo, I've seen WTI Warcraft. I've seen him. He's been doing that for years. Okay, so Own Goal is undefeated. Boss Toss is undefeated. Danikin and Renegade Moose most likely are going to get the spot. I don't think any of the other players are capable of qualifying. We're going to go ahead and see, but it could affect tiebreakers. So we're going to hang tight for just a minute. Yeah, let's show you guys what it looks like here. So let's go over there. We're going to check. Both Dota and League are based off Warcraft 3. Yes. So Warcraft 3 had a custom game called Defense of the Ancients, which was the original Dota. That's why the standalone Dota game is Dota 2, because Blizzard never locked down the rights to it. So then they just went and made a standalone game and made hundreds of millions of dollars probably. Yeah. Dota 1 was a Warcraft 3 custom map. Yes. And League of Legends was directly inspired by it as well, right? Like let's be straightforward here. All right. So let's do this and see. So only a couple to finish. Johnny Cash, Lord Shaftesbury playing down here. Let's refresh this. Okay, 2 games. And currently our top 4 is looking like Own Goal here, Boss Toss, Danikin, and Renegade Moose. Most likely, they have the strongest tiebreakers and the best records. So that means Lizardmen, Wood Elves, Demons of Chaos, and High Elves. That's a pretty good range of factions. I would say a good diversity. Yeah. And Team Fortress was a Quake mod. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I did not know that lore. Okay. 2 to finish. Did that affect the tiebreakers at all? Does not look like it. I think it's actually impossible for anybody else to make top 4, but Heroes of Newerth, I never played that. Heroes of Newerth was a standalone game, right? Do people still play that game? Is it still around or did it kind of fall off? You and WT are my favorite streamers. Do you think you would Do you think you could do a join video with him? Oh, I would if he reached out. 100%. I would absolutely reach out to him. He seems like a really nice guy. Heroes of New Earth is still being played. There's still people playing it. That's cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was still like active and whatnot. Oh, so it's its own thing. Okay. All of this is mind blowing. Puggington, are you our age? Are you in your 30s as well? This is like some elder millennial lore, like the early Warcraft 3 stuff. So maybe that's why you missed it. I'm not sure. Are you old and crusty like me? Okay, so Johnny Cash and Claw, and then Space Pope and Rack having their sweaty matches down there. Are any of them able to qualify? Space Pope has only one win, and I think the other player does as well. Dude, I have gray hairs in my beard now. I straight up, I'm getting the gray hairs now. It attacked this year. The first gray hairs came in this year. Not in my head, like my like hair on my head, but on my facial hair, like the beards. It's coming. It's coming for blood. Yours started at 17. Oh, really? That's pretty metal. Hey, Apostate, how'd your games go? Are you playing tonight? You were, right? Did you make top 4? Or were you not playing? I think, do I see you in the event? I don't know. Okay. Oh, you're only 22. Okay, that explains a lot. You were playing Total War Warhammer when you were 14. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, that explains it. No wonder your micro's so good. No wonder you have the powerful micro. Yeah, I respect that. The gray is, well, you know, whiskey, it's different for everybody, man. It strikes when it strikes. So T-Rex says 51 here, the games keep getting better and the corporations keep getting worse. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is the truth, isn't it? Come on, boys. Finish those games. Do it. Are there any? I got stomped in round 1 and then you got 3 W's. Ah, okay. So where are you? Oh, you're just out of the top 4. Yeah, I see Apostate. You were close. You almost made top 4 tonight, but yeah, the tiebreaker of Moose is too strong. Yeah, I'm the same way, Reginald. I have decent micro, but I feel like my knowledge is a little bit haggard right now too. All right, refreshing. Oh, Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge was one of my favorite games of all time. I had so much fun with that game. Just massing. Remember the Zeppelins and like the conscript rushes and all that? Oh, those are fun times. Those are some fun strategies. That game had like the attack dogs and it had like the hero characters, like was the heroes came like characters named like Natasha or something? I can't remember. She could like lay blasting charges on buildings and just like blow them up. Oh, yeah, that was fun. I would be very down to do a Command and Conquer Red Alert 2. That would be fun. That would be very fun. And weren't there like, I forget, one of the factions had like, they could like deploy sandbags? Like their troops could like deploy sandbag entrenchments? Yeah. Tanya was the name of the character. Yeah, it was something like that. So freaking good. There's so many great old games that we can still enjoy, you know, like Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is another one that's so good. I love it. Okay. I see your message, Frost. You rest well, brother. Please. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you. Red Alert 2 was the GOAT. Yeah, U.S. forces could do that. That's right. And the paratroopers that would drop in. The Hollywood mission where you can get Arnie, Sly, and Norris. Oh, I didn't even remember that. Is that actually a thing? Oh, I remember in the Tesla towers. Remember the Tesla towers? I always thought those were so cool, like the lightning towers. Yeah, so fun. There's a Command and Conquer remaster on Steam. So which version of it does it remaster, though? Is there any way these guys could affect the tiebreaker, or should we just go to top 4? I didn't know that, Davok. I didn't know that. That's fun. Okay. I feel like our stream is just like a just talking stream where we just like reminisce on old millennial shit. All right, let's refresh that. How are these guys not done? Jeez Louise. What is this? It's like just balls deep matches here. Okay, let me do some math in my head to see if any of these could even get to top 4. So the next person is 2 points down. Apostate is not playing and Christopher is not playing. So I don't think it's actually physically possible for either of these guys to make top 4. So probably just going to advance to the finals. Stay a while and listen. Dude, I was so mad when they killed Deckard Cain in the Diablo game. I was like, dude, why would you do that? In Diablo, it was a Diablo 3 that did that, I think. It was such bullshit. Deckard Cain was such an OG of Diablo. You know, they should have had him in every Diablo game. Just like you're just perpetually wondering how he isn't aging past like being ancient. That's how you do it. Okay, these guys are taking a long time. I'm just going to advance to the grand final or top 4. I don't think it matters. I don't think anybody else can even get in distance of striking because Johnny Cash and Pontius. Let me check. Nope. And one last admin thing here, guys. Then we'll advance on. Space Pope, I think, is low on the totem pole as well. Space Pope. Nope. Okay, he's only got 1 win, so we don't need to worry about that. All right, so let's advance to the top 4. Let's refresh this. 4K watching. Yeah, I don't know. I suspect that the YouTube sleepers are here. It's very weird. Like normally my streams don't have these kind of numbers. I suspect there's some shenanigans. Like there's a thing on Steam where if you stream on Steam, like it like everybody who's sitting idle on the Steam page of that game counts as like having watched. I feel like YouTube's doing something different or similar. No idea though. The sleeper awakens. It's Friday night, man. Is it? Is it though? I don't know. Okay, advance to top 4. We're going to the top 4. I need to drop out of top 4. Oh my God, you tell me right as I click it. Oh, it's okay. We'll replace you. Okay, and we have our top 4 now. So here we go. It is going to be Boss Toss versus Own Goal. And who's going to replace you in top 4? Are you sure you can't play? Because we're going now. I'm going to shoot you a message in Discord, Renegade. Yo. Final answer. It's for $1 million. It's your final answer. Can you play or not? I'm one of those sleepers, just enjoying the games, just trying to fall asleep here at 4 a.m. Yeah. Okay, how many of you guys in YouTube chat, this is your first time here. You don't know why you're here. You don't know what year it is, what planet you're on, but you just ended up here on this stream. No, Pone. Oh, God, stop it, Professor Pone. Stop with this shit. Okay, so the tiebreaker here actually does matter then. Okay, so we need to see who's going to do it. Let's refresh this. Okay, sounds good. You can't do it. Sounds good, Owen. Catch you later, man. Thanks for joining. Close to 5 a.m. here. Sleep schedule for me is cooked beyond repair. I know, I'm the same way. I'm a creature of the night also. So Apostate and Christopher. So we need to see if that's going to do it. So Cash. Did he play any of these guys? He did. So this actually matters for the tiebreaker. Oh, we actually have to wait. We have to wait now, guys. All right. Eat well. Okay, so Renegade Moose is dropping, so that's our High Elf champion. Sadly, he will not be playing. You're really excited for the Warcraft 3 tournament tomorrow? Sweet. You like watching the Dwarf Blimp? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a banger. It's going to be fun. I've never casted like a long Warcraft 3 tournament, so that'll be a learning curve for me, but very, very hyped for that. The time tournament tomorrow is at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's going to be early in the morning, and I suspect it'll be 5 or 6 hours. Yeah. That is going to be the jam. Okay, are you guys AFK or just... Let me find Johnny Cash in Discord. This one game is holding everything up. Yo. You two, I'm going to tell Boss Toss and Own Gold to go play their game, and then I'll cast whoever wins from this one. Okay. Let's first head and play your match. I will cast other side. All right, so we're going to get them playing their game. And then I will cast the other side. Boss toss. Go ahead and play with... All right, outstanding. Come on. Come on, Johnny Cash. You can do it. Oh, he finished. He did it. Just do a quick match for us. It'll be so... No, we just got there. All right. So, Apostate, are you still here? You qualify for top 4. You actually made it because somebody dropped. Yo-yo. You're top 4. There we go. Oh my god, they played the game, but nobody reported the score. Oh, that's so freaking troll, dude. That happens all the time. People just forget to report the score. They're like, oh, I just left after my game and just didn't report it. It's pretty funny. Okay. So it's going to be Janikin versus Apostate Prostate, if he's here. Okay, let's check. He says, let's freaking go. All right. That's the spirit I like to see. Okay, so changing this. And it's going to be Apostate versus Danikin. All right, so let's host this. Semis. Oops, wrong one. Semis. And we're going to get these bad boys in here. Switch to domination mode. And here we go. So it's going to be Apostate Prostate. There we go. Versus Danikin. All right. So we got the semifinal match. Yeah, we just got wrecked so hard. I was like waiting for like 10 minutes. Like, wow, the outcome of this game is going to determine everything. Okay, so that is going to be Renegade Moose being replaced by Apostate. Apostate Prostate's a pretty great name, by the way. Chad move keeping 4,000 people waiting. Yeah, it is pretty funny, actually. All right, so that should be all set. And now we're all good to go on the old Total Tavern. I have told Boss Toss and Own Gold to start playing. Own Gold, go ahead and play Boss Toss. That is your opponent. Cool. So they're playing, we're playing. Oh, the Chorfs have made it. Let's go. Let's get that Chorf action. Yeah, baby. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Let the Nurglings feast. So semifinal map is going to be the Dunes of Cain, and then we have Norskin Rise for the grand finals, which is going to be fun. So here's the Norskin Rise right here, and Dunes of Cain. Sorry, I'm hungry. The brain's all over the place. We're trying to get through it. We're pushing. Can you explain how the opponent points work? Yeah, so it basically, it keeps track of the record of your opponent. So at the end of the tournament, whoever, however well your opponents did, like your strength of schedule is what those points are basically. So if you play a bunch of players who have strong records, you're going to have a better tiebreaker at the end, right? The Chowie are here. Yeah, the Jowies are. Let's get it. Versus Demons of Chaos. It's a fun matchup, actually. This could be, it's pretty even-ish. I think Chaos Dwarves, Iron Demons are S tier here. I think that a little bit of shooting and some artillery is also helpful. Bringing one Death Shrieker to just shoot at the Demon Lord is very, very cost effective. So there's a fair amount of good options that you can implement here. So, all right, guys, I'll be back in 1 second. My family member has just arrived here, and I'm just going to go let him in. And, yeah, we're going to hang out. BRB. The gods have abandoned us. Flee the city. All right, guys, we're back. How's it going? It is time. I have not abandoned you. We're here to have a duel between the Dwarves and the Demons of Chaos. So two very evil factions. And it does make some sense because the Chaos Dwarves are known for subjugating demons. They're like, they see a demon and they're like, oh, dude, we're going to hammer your ass into this iron demon so freaking hard. You know, so a little bit of action there. Has anyone seen that new Karate Kid movie? There's a new Karate Kid movie out. Is that the one with it has Jackie Chan in it coming back, and then he's teaming up with the guy from the actual original Karate Kid, right? Daniel LaRusso. Yeah. I'm not sure. I have not seen that one. So, scurry, flee, yes, yes. So, Demons of Chaos and Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves are pretty evil. Yeah, they're slavers. I mean, they're pretty freaking evil. There's no mincing words with them. They're pretty awful. You know, it's the classic Chaos arc, right? They go from like being dwarves to having to turn to dark methods to survive in the Chaos like lands, and then they fully embrace it. You know. Ralph Macchio, yeah. You're going to take your son to see it tomorrow. It looks okay. I'm sure it'll be fun. Yeah, it's like nothing crazy, but certainly fun. Oh, I don't get out too much. My wife is in Poland right now visiting her mom. So I have been left to my own devices here for the past couple weeks, and there has been a level of devolving. I don't leave the house much. It's pretty grungy, you know. What I eat is worse. It's the classic, you know. You revert to your old haggard ways. All right, so Chaos Dwarves are ready. Just waiting for Danik and Trop to finish it up, and then we'll be getting started here soon. You're gonna watch the new Wes Anderson movie? What is it? I don't know what it is. Off the top of my head. Father Nurgle is nesting, I know. Well, we actually just spent all day today before the stream cleaning the house. So we put in, I'm preparing it for Anna's arrival here. You regressed into an RTS gremlin, that's right. Nothing is worse than an MMO gremlin, though. Like, if all the gaming gremlins, although I've heard rumors about fighting game players being really grungy. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, what is the grungiest archetype of gamer? Is it like the WoW, like early 2000s World of Warcraft gamer? Is it the fighting game player, like the professional Smash Brothers players? Like, who is the grungiest gaming archetype? I'd say MMO, because MMO is so consuming. Yeah. I don't know. You guys have to let me know. 12-hour-a-day MOBA player. Okay, yeah, I would say MOBA players definitely can get pretty grungy, but I think MMO might be one of the worst. Have you seen Asmongold's house? So I did see a clip of his stream where a roach actually jumps off his chest. I don't know if it was like staged, but if that's real, holy shit. That actually made me laugh pretty hard. He's like in there and there's like a roach. There's like a full-on cockroach that climbs on him during one of his streams and like jumps off his chest, or he takes it outside and releases it or something. I can't remember. Hey, I think MMO's got to be the grungiest. All right, guys, taking a look here at the Duel of Fates in tonight's semifinals. It is going to be the Chaos Dwarves versus the Demons of Chaos. Now, let's go ahead and break it down. Looking at the army of the Dwarves, it's going to be Hobgoblin Skirmishers. Very, very good. Gives you battlefield control and ability to poke down big demon targets. The rest of the army is going to be Laborers and a massive firing line, guys. Look at this. So Infernal Guard Fireglaves, probably my favorite Chaos Dwarf unit. These guys are so badass. Halberds, not bad. More importantly, they can shoot at the big demons. We have a Sorcerer Prophet of Death with Spirit Leech and Aspect of the Dread Knight, and that's going to be it. So the Dwarf army is very, very centered around the Fireglaves, which I think is quite fun. On the other side, Hobgoblin Wolf Rider is going to be heading towards Objective 3 and the Objective 2 as well. For the Demonic army, they do have a Vanguard of Hounds. It's going to be Flesh Hounds. You guys telling all the Asmongold stories are making me laugh. Didn't his ceiling rot and collapse? Oh my god. His Nurgle afflicted even his ceiling and is rotting the very earth upon which he treads. I love that. That's hilarious. All right, Herald of Slaanesh is going to be the Lord choice. We have the Pavane as well as the Lash. We got 2 characters over here. We have the double Soul Grinders. All right. So Soul Grinders are a hard counter against the Bale Taurus and a hard counter against the artillery, but Apostate Prostate knows this. He didn't even bring anything that these Soul Grinders are going to be good against. So you could see he's really a Chaos Dwarf veteran player, bringing the correct business. On the backside, we do have Plague Bearers of Nurgle. They're surging forth to try and take ground for the Plague Father. So those bad boys are going to be getting up there, and the good times will continue. And advancing up are the Dowie Czar. Objective number 2 is going to be held by demons, but not for very long, as the Chaos Dwarf... Oh, Chaos Dwarf's brought elite infantry too! Check that out. Oh man, it's the Infernal Guard. Oh, I love that. Very cool. They don't do magic damage like the Infernal Ironsworn, but they're still pretty decent. Now on the flank, Fireglade's going to be setting up shop. We do see flanking from the Demons of Chaos. That's right. And they're going to be getting up on the hill and trying to get their gun zeroed in on these big monsters. Oh, they're going for the Death Shrieker. So there's a Death Shrieker in the back called in, which is going to be a very hard counter against these things. And the Fireglaves are unleashing their salvo of fire over here. You can see these mighty Dowie Czar champions. Super freaking cool. Going to be using their long rifles to force them back. I love that. In the meantime, we see Pavane of Slaanesh. What the hell? Is it not working? So why is this not rampaging these guys? Pavane of Slaanesh used on the Hobgoblins, but they don't get rampaged? What? That can't be right. All right. That is really interesting. Have you guys ever seen that before? It looked like the Pavane of Slaanesh actually just didn't work there. Or maybe there's some weird interaction as to why that didn't work. All right, so back in the epicenter of combat, we have the Laborer Force here. And on the middle objective, it is going to be held by the Orc Laborer unit. So those guys are going to be chilling out here. In the meantime, Sorcerer Prophet here hanging with his lead infantry shouldn't have problems holding that. And in the backfield, we do see some of these units getting back here. So the Fleshhounds do get on top of the Death Shrieker, which is not good for the Chaos Dwarves. They're really going to want to defend that. Pull in some Hobgoblins or call in some infantry to maybe square that up. Probably saving up for some sort of a train, considering he's sitting on 1,200 supplies. That would be my guess. All right, guys. So on the backside, these Soul Grinders are going to be throwing their javelins into the Death Shrieker. And this is a really big loss for the Chaos Dwarves. We do see some guns trying to move over, so the Infernal Guard Fireglaves trying to head over and help, but they're also being pressed by some of these bad boys here. It is going to be the Plague Bearers of Nurgle, and the Plague Bearers will trade very, very well into the Fireglaves. Fireglaves are not going to have a good time in this fight. They do really horrifically into tanky chaff units like these guys. So Death Shrieker does get stabilized because he was saving here, and he gets the Bull Centaur renders with Great Opens Out. So these guys are pretty good against big targets, but it also gives Tzeentch a little bit of a target. The 2 Soul Grinders can throw their anti-large javelins and do some serious work. Over on Objective 2, held by Chaos Dwarves, right here, looking very good for Chaos Dwarves as well, as he uses the aspect of the Dread Knight to give magic damage to his unit, so 20% damage buff against the demons. But the Death Shrieker is still cooking, and what is it even shooting? Oh, he's trying to snipe the Lord here. All right. So look at that. On the backside, we do see the Death Shriek rocket launcher shooting into the Herald of Slaanesh. Very, very nice stuff. On the backside, Hobgoblin Wolf Riders encircling here. Hobgoblin Sneaky gets also called in. Now, these things aren't going to do any damage against these guys, but they will tarp at them. So if you're able to get them in melee, they're not going to be, shooting, and it will free up the Fireglaves to continue poking. Now, looking at the Fireglaves here, very unfortunate situation. The Fireglaves between the Magic and the Plague Bearers did lose the fight, and it really doesn't seem like the Chaos Dwarves have anything in the backfield here that can effectively deal with these freaking Plague Bears. I mean, Bull Centaurs kind of can, but it's not cost effective. They are being shot, but man, one Plague Bear unit, a 700 gold unit, tar pitting 2,000 gold units and really dragging them down is uber cost effective. But I mean, here's the thing, guys. The entire game, the Chaos Dwarves are winning on the objectives. They've been able to hold the double cap. They have a healthy Fireglaive sitting right here, which can kind of satellite out and put firepower down wherever they go. And on the backside, the Death Shriek rocket launchers are going to be shooting into the Soul Grinders here. So here they come. And that's a shot. 4,000 HP. Wow, that did like 1,000 damage. That was a hell of a lot of DACA right there, ladies and gentlemen. So the Fleshhounds of Khorne here getting harried and run down by the Wolf Riders. Bull Centaur is having a very bad time. This, guys, is a 16 or 1550 gold unit. It's gotten only 200 value so far, has not been able to get in combat, and it's just getting wrecked by these Soul Grinders. These guys are throwing their Poseidon javelins nonstop, and they have really cool animations. But Yeah, the old Bull Centaurs really not doing super hot. Fiends also coming around the flank, so it looks like he came around the side with Fiends, maybe to try and loop around and get that artillery. The Bull Centaurs do finally get in combat, and maybe we'll be able to trade effectively. And now we see Hobgoblin Wolf Riders tying down the Soul Grinders. This needed to be done a long time ago. They really needed to be pinning these guys down, and now they're going to be shooting into the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch right there. Negative 15 leadership, negative 3, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be game blouses for that unit. One Soul Grinder is effectively killed, and it had a lot of ammunition as well. But guys, during all that action we saw, the Chaos Dwarves are having to allocate a lot to fight back here. And you know what that did? It gave the demons the opportunity to bring in the Fleshhounds to rip apart these laborer units. You know, look at that. Look at that. Brutal stuff there. Orc laborers get ripped to shreds here and here, so these two units pay the troll toll. And on the middle, the Chaos Dwarves also lost it. So pretty much every objective now has been ripped from the brutal, greedy clutches of the Chaos Dwarves. Their Infernal Guard here fighting very well with the magic damage buffs. They're going to do a lot of damage against the Nurgling units. And on the outside here, we do see the Deathshrieker continuing to generate value. It is shooting into the Fiends here. The Bull Centaur Render is still fighting. I mean, a very resilient unit, certainly. They have incredibly high HP pools. But even though the Chaos Dwarves have lost all three objectives, they're still very much in this game. The Chaos Demon's Lord cannot really even get in the field. We see 500 HP on this thing. If the Deathshrieker trains on this unit and just targets its line of sight onto the Lord for even a second, the Demonic Lord is going to crumble. And we do see a lot of demons crumbling across the battlefield. Chaos Dwarves have 12 capture weight here, maybe like 10, to move over towards Objective 1. So they're going to flip that one back very, very quickly here, guys. And I don't know, man. It's looking a little bit cagey here. All right, so Plague Bearer's fighting it out. Infernal Guard. The durability of the Dowie Tsar may be able to edge this one out in the very, very end. Their stalwart infantry fighting on the points might be able to outlast the demonic infantry. And they do also have a Sorcerer Prophet here who does do magic damage. That's something that Creative Assembly should do for every Magic Lord. All Magic Wizards should do magic damage. It's kind of stupid they don't. Like the Bright Wizard of the Empire literally has a sword that's on fire and he doesn't do magic damage. It's just like an oversight, really. All right, so on the outside objective, Fury's being called in to battle the Hobo Goblins, and Pavane of Slaanesh is activated, and it's working now, so they do get Rampage at this time. But the Dowie Tsar are able to get objective number 3. Advancing up are the Hobgoblin Sneaky Gets. And now this like absolute hammer of capture weight is going to be moving between objectives and grabbing all of these. And currently, Daniken is up on points. The Chaos Dwarves, I believe, are a little bit behind on points, unless I'm reading it incorrectly here. It's always a little bit funky. Like this, they need to make the UI much more clear. Like there should be a logo next to each score that says like which faction is which. It's a little bit weird, but no, Demons of Chaos, yeah, they're up on points. They've had that triple cap for a hot minute. Although the Dwarves did just get one objective back right now, and they do get that. Objective number 2 is going to be going to the Chaos Dwarves most likely, although the Soul Grinder is putting a little bit of work down on the Dowie Tsar Lord. So here we do see this man taking a bit of a beating right there, and there you have it. Maybe he'll be able to fend that thing off. The Deathshrieker rocket launcher is shooting into the Fiends right now. What should be done for Apostate is you want to get the Deathshrieker to finish off. Big terror-causing unit here is going to be very, very important. So the red is Chowie. Yeah, correct. And you can even just mouse over the banner and it'll tell you who it's controlled by. So that is something you can do. Now, this is one of the best units in the game against Demons of Chaos, is the Kadai Fireborn. They're also incredibly good against Vampire Counts. They do fire damage and magic damage, counteracting healing and demonic units. It kind of looks like the Dowie Tsar are going to run away with this game a little bit. They're starting to get all the objectives and getting a lot of momentum. Here, we do see Narcissism activated onto the Kadai Fireborn. It's hard to imagine a literal fire demon being narcissistic, but it is going to be turning and fighting the Fiends, which will be a fine fight. Oh, hold on. Man, the Chorf Lord, if he gets killed, that's going to be big. That's going to be really big. He's at 700 HP. The Deathshrieker needs to save homie. Okay. The rocket's coming in, and the rocket's red glare, and bombs burning in air. Here he comes. All right. So Soul Grinder's going to get it. Oh, rocket to the face. 700 leadership, and the Chad Fireglaves on the high ground putting firepower down. Negative leadership, and the Chaos Dwarves protecting the Lord of their army, making sure he is going to be living to fight another day. Almost crumbling. It looks like the Soul Grinder maybe stabilizes its leadership for a moment. Objective 1. Pretty firmly controlled by the Chorfs, although there is a Fleshhound coming in. The Fleshhound might be able to get in and wreck these units. Middle objective owned by the Demons of Chaos, and talk about a knockdown, drag-out game here, guys. Absolutely savage. This is like such a brutal one. Back and forth, like both players looking like they were going to come back at various points. Oh man, don't move that Lord back in. If Apostate Prostate's paying attention and does get that freaking rocket to snipe this this Demon Lord, that's going to be an absolutely brutal situation. And it does look like the low leadership Hobgoblins that were defending the far side point do get taken down here. So the Fleshhounds of Khorne going to be charging in there. Yes, yes, there they go. No, you cannot desummon Lords anymore. We thankfully lobbied to get that shit removed, and it can't happen. So in that case, the Chorfs do get pushed back. Demons win on this point right here. They reclaim that objective, and they win the game. GG, well played. All right. I love the Chorf build. You know why the Chorfs lost that game? Is because they blundered their Fireglaves. They let 2 Fireglaive units get chased away by 1 Plaguebearer unit, and that was pretty much it. Aside from that, you also need an Iron Demon in this matchup. Iron Demons are, with the magic damage, are S tier at cleaving through a multitude of demonic units. So 1 Iron Demon I would recommend in reserve at least. But honestly, the game was winnable for both players. So, we're going to host the finals now. GG, well played. Finals. It's hosted as a spectator there. Okay. Let's get that. Host as a spectator and outstanding. So, let's get this party started. We're going to get Danikentrop in there, and we're going to see who won on the other side. I assume they started playing their game. And that is going to be own goal. Is there. All right, all right. Finals. GLHF. The other guy conceded, correct. Yeah, he left the game. He conceded. So we have Lizardmen versus Daemons of Chaos. Kind of a funky matchup. We've got Norskin Rise is going to be our map here. And there we go. Thank you guys for your patience, and thank you for joining tonight. Yo, Turin from Australia. What is up from the land down under? Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, the Warcraft 3 tournament's tomorrow. It's tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're going to be casting all freaking day. It's going to be fast, and it's going to be furious. Okay, so let's get these 2 players here. We also, by the way... And yeah, we have a clan duel. Here we are. We have RTK facing off against the Rat Clan. So 2 of the great Total War competitive clans are going to be duking it out here, and we're going to see how this goes. Should be quite a bit of fun. So Demons of Chaos have arrived in the lobby. Lizards versus Demons. Do I still write win against... You'll see a new player. All right. And we have this as well. And also, by the way, if you guys are looking to learn about a little bit of a competitive Total War action, Own Goal, formerly known as Tim, does have his own YouTube channel. So I highly recommend checking him out. He is one of the best fonts of information out there for Total War competitive. So, you know, obviously he's a champion. He's won major events. He's gotten 2nd place in like 7 major events. You know, definitely recommend heading over there and checking him out. Okay. There we are. And it is go time. So we just need to get Own Goal in here. Lobby's up. Get in there. And hopefully they don't take too long to build their armies. We're going to see. We are going to see. Some of these guys do take some time. Bastos, yeah, he's very good. He's very, very good. There he goes. All right. So Lizardmen versus Demons of Chaos. I would wager maybe these guys have some build saved. Own Goal might. I would suspect he... Some call him... He's the artist formerly known as Tim. Yes. He changed his name to a random symbol. That's right. Yeah. But here we go. One of the best Lizardmen players in the world. Very brutal Lizardmen build-up and kiting game. Demons of Chaos, though, Danikentrop has been crushing it lately. Yeah. Is he going to turtle? I don't know if he'll do a build-up. He likes to build up when he plays against like mass ranged and mass poke and those type of things. The Dread Saurian. The dreaded Dread Saurian. Not likely. Demons have some decent ways to roast a Dread Saurian. You know, Changebringers can probably just sit above a Dreadsaurian and give it the unholy business. So that is not something you want to be doing. Okay. Refreshing here. How are we looking on time? Everything is good. We are just on schedule. Man, we got a lot of tournaments. So yeah, if you guys are also looking to get into competitive play or just tournament play in general, or just play against some, cool people, join our Discord, number one. And number two, you can head on over to TotalTavern.com. This is our competitive Total War website. I need to update this banner. I keep forgetting. But you can see we have tournaments. So we had one this morning with 30 people. This one was 32 people tonight. We have a new player tournament tomorrow, by the way, at 9 a.m. in the morning. And then another advanced one a little bit later on. So you can see and track all the tournaments that are coming up in the community. Somebody just literally launched like 30 of those, geez Louise, all the way through the month. And you can also see the leaderboard of who the top players are right now. Look at the Hall of Fame to see the history of who's won major events and all that sort of good stuff. So it's a fun time. All right. So here we go. I will be right back. Gonna get a quick drink of water. I'm really getting through this one very quickly. It's secretly void loss. Yes. All right, guys. BRB. All right, guys, what's cooking? What did I miss? Anything fun happen? I don't think so. I think we're all good. I don't even know what this looks like. Maybe salamanders to blast like the fiends and poke and... Oh, ancient salamanders, probably. I bet you we see ancient salamanders from Own Goal. Wow. Because they have enough range to outrange like the pinks and blues. Although Soul Grinder of Tzeentch maybe can counter them. We chatter them off it. Just got back from a state qualifier track meet. Hey, nice. Did you run? Just got back from a state qualifier track meet. I ran track and field in high school as well. Hell yeah, man. Let's get it. Oh, I wonder if I have that. Oh, let's see. I might have the... Let's see. I'll look it up. But yeah, let me know if you ran some track. I love track and field. It was a great sport. Track meets were so fun because like you just like a lot of the day at a track meet, you just like hanging out with some of your best friends. You go run a race. It takes like a couple seconds, and then you're just hanging out with your friends again. Just shooting the shit while watching your friends compete, cheering them on. It's a great sport. Yeah, track and field is awesome. I was gonna run track and field, but chickened out. Oh, you should do it. It's good. It's good exercise. You're a thrower. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I never got into that. I ran the 100 and the 200 and the 400. I was just a sprinter. It was super fun. It is great indeed. All right, so Own Goal is ready. Now we're waiting for Danik and Trop and the Demons of Chaos to do evil demon things. States typically happens in June. Oh, you're talking about for state. Yeah, state level competition. I mean, if you're trying to qualify for state, that's pretty big. Fun track story. I tried out for my high school track team, but on the tryout day, I accidentally ran the varsity run instead of the tryout run, which was 3 times as long, and I totally wiped out. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Ah, got it, pork chop. Got it. It's never too late. I mean, track is a sport you can... So, if you really wanted to still do track and field pork chops, they have what's called open track meets here in the United States. So, they're track meets that anybody can go enter. It's a college track meet, but they allow open athletes to join. So when I was in my 20s, I actually went and competed in a couple of those, even though I was out of college and everything. It's fun. Yeah, it was good times. All right, guys. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's break it down. Let's freaking get it. And here's the grand finals for tonight's tourney. This is the gateway to me getting my glorious dinner. That is how I see it. I actually have some pictures from some of those open track meets. It was fun. Fun times. All right, guys, here we are. It's going to be Daniken Trop, who is a new up-and-comer in our community, who has been an absolute menace, by the way. Oh, man, my microphone almost just flew off my desk. Gotta love that. But yes, Daniken Trop has been proudly representing the Rat Clan and winning and just competing at a very high level. And now they are here facing one of the absolute Dark Lords of Total War Competitive and Own Goal. We got pink cores under the sunset and a bunch of freaking blues. So that is just a classic Tzeentchian front line with a Nurgle demon up in the sky. All right, that's fun. So it is going to be Grand Vomitus, the Prince of Bubos. He's going to be doing Curse of the Leper and Stream of Corruption. So there's no big healing spell, but the idea is that you spam cheap spells, and that is going to be triggering the army-wide healing you get from the Children of Nurgle ability. All right. Aside from that, any Vanguard units? I don't think so. I think that's actually... Oh, yeah, we do have some Nurglings on Vanguard. So the Nurglings going to be heading for the high ground point here to try and wrestle objective 2. Now, looking at the armies of the Lizardmen, it's going to be Skink Skirmishers, which are a very good counter against Nurglings. They just sit from a safe distance looking all adorable, and they get their blow darts, and they shoot those Nurglings in their disgusting little faces. It's going to be 2 of those. Jacksborn, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. All right, guys. We have Peasants of the Lizards, the Skink cohorts, backed up by the Interior Crocodile Alligator. They are going to be driving their Chevrolet movie theater. But quite good against demons because they do magic damage. So, they hit hard, they do magic damage, they're very durable, what's not to love? Double Croxagors on the outside, Cold on Spear Riders to fight big targets. And then the Gremlin Lord of the Lizardmen army is going to be the Red Crested Skink Chief. He's got his Pimp Cane, he's got anti-large, he's dirt cheap, so even if he dies, you just resummon him. It's really not a big deal. All right, so let me know your predictions in chat. Who do you guys think is going to win? Are you rooting for the Lizardmen or the dreaded Demons of Chaos? Now, as far as the players go, the Demons of Chaos are definitely the underdog, but Daniken Trop has been crushing it, like I said, in tournaments lately, so it could certainly go either way. All right, up on the high ground, we do have these Skink Skirmishers chilling out. That's going to be 10 capture weight here. Nurglings are going to be cackling back here, and you might put a 4-day-old... Sorry, I just got totally distracted by that comment. You're going to put a 4-day-old croissant in the air fryer. Oh, that sounds like something we would do here in the States. Just some haggard culinary stuff. It's always good. Hola, skinks. Yeah, so the Skink Skirmisher is poking into the demons down here, and it does look like Own Goal is going to be securing Objective 1 with his Lizardmen, and most likely will be able to win the Duel of Fates up on the high ground, but no! Daniken Trop calling in the Fleshhounds, and what better way to hunt down these little gremlins than with giant angry demon dogs? So he's going to retreat, and I would imagine the Lizardmen will call over some cavalry, so yes, we do see the Colton Spear Riders coming to help. But many of these little gremlins are going to get ripped to shreds by the Fleshhounds. Certainly not going super well for them. Fleshhounds, I think, lost like a model on the charge in, but really are going to be value trading very cost effectively. But a very melee-focused army. Usually the Lizardmen bring more shooting in this matchup, in my experience. And the Fleshhounds are going to get forced back. So the Coldon Spear Riders rotating up to the high ground are going to be able to push them back. Or they're just Coldon Riders, not actually Spear Riders, okay? So just regular units. Grand Vomitus flying, observing his domain. He's going to be looking to try and get this high ground points as the victory tickets do continue to ebb and flow. And there's going to be a Curse of the Leper activated. So he tried to time it, but man, Own Goal is so on point. So Curse of the Leper would have reflected the damage the Coldon Riders were doing back at them while the buff is active, which is very long. It lasts for like 25 seconds. But Own Goal saw it, and he retreated away, although now he's going to be charging in. So maybe he didn't see it as well as we thought. No, he's teasing. Oh, dude, what a tease. He pretends he's going to be charging in, but he just pulls back. But, on the upside for the demons, that little ability there kept the Lizardman player from attacking you for 25 seconds. So it's not completely worthless, right? And it does look like the Nurglings may be going to be pulling back and yielding this objective. So we will see. Coldon Spear Riders now going to be charging in, and the poor Nurglings are like, flee! Look at these little gremlins, dude. Very 1980s little creatures. But they get punted over by some of the Velociraptor cavalry, and they're not going to be long for this world. Massive cavalry alpha strike right here. We see 2 cav units come in, Nurglings going to get folded up, and the demons are going to change up their game plan. Now what they're going to do is they're going to start playing Objective 1 and probably yield the high ground to the dinosaurs. We do see some Shrieking Skyrays nearby. So these are demonic units. They're anti-large fighters. Very, very good at going to battle with like Kroxigor equivalents and those type of units. So maybe they're going to do it. I don't know. We're going to see how they decide to engage here. On the backside objective, the Fleshhounds of Khorne going to be arriving over on objective 1. And on the high ground, what do we got? Golden Riders are right there. And on the other side, what's it going to be? Okay, Kroxigors are on their way out. Skink Priest's going to be moving up, providing some Flock of Doom support, I would imagine. And the demons are kind of getting boxed in a little bit, right? Like, they have the center, but they have a very formation-based army, which he's a little bit nervous about being enveloped. So, you know, here's the thing. If Own Goal and the Lizardmen can just sit on the outside objectives and force the more static demonic army to advance, he's going to be able to probably have the advantage there in that situation. Positioning, of course, very, very important in the competitive elements of this game. Advancing up are the Fiends of Slaanesh, a good choice. They'll trade okay into a lot of the Lizard Cav, but they don't want to be fighting Coldland Spear Riders with Skink support. If the Skinks are there shooting their little poison blow darts, the Coldland Spear Riders are probably going to be having a bad time. Not Coldland Spear Riders, excuse me, the Fiends of Slaanesh. Getting hungry, it's been a while. Brain is just barely functioning here. Objective 2, held by blues and pinks. And Daniken Trop did not like the attempt on the outside objective, so most likely is going to form ranks and try and head over to the top, right? But man, oh man, Own Goal is keeping that pressure on the outsides and really, really not letting his opponent kind of move up. What I would love to see from the Lizardmen here would be a solar engine. Like one solar engine sitting back here and just poking into this like immobile army would be so good. Okay, same thing is going to happen. So Own Goal calls out these salamanders and he drops a nice little salvo, a little bit of a hit and run. He pokes into those guys and breaks through the shields of the pinks, but nothing terribly crazy. They have 140 range and the blues have 90 and pinks I think have 130. So salamanders with proper micro will be able to outmaneuver the shooting of Tzeentch. And now they're just going to be blasting into the front line here. A little bit of fire damage, tickling the pickle. And man, okay, it looks like the Lizards are going to go for a freaking triple cap here. Not a triple cap, but aggressing the demons off the high ground. It kind of looked like he was going to maybe go aggro and push around and try and maybe swamp on the middle, but no, not going to be the case. I mean, here's the thing. You have the advantage. You have the double cap. Make your opponent make the risky play, right? Like, it's the same thing in Warcraft 3. You expanded, your opponent didn't. Why would you attack until you have a huge, either critical mass of an army advantage? Just make them attack into your defenses. You know, you gotta win where you can. More Fiends of Slaanesh are going to be called out, and the high ground objective is still owned by the dinosaurs. And on the low ground, we have a very Gremlin-esque game. The way Own Goal plays is very, very hard to play against. He's very cagey, very mechanical on the objectives. The high ground objective owned by the Demons of Chaos here. Looks like they did have it. Now the Lizardmen just kind of took that one back. Yeah, Lizards have outside here. They have outside here. Currently, the Lizardmen are going to be sitting on 521 points. Those victory tickets are, they're going. They are going indeed. Shrieking Skyrays are lurking around. They're looking for Kroxigors right now, but the Skink Skirmishers able to sit and poke. Grand Vomitus using a Stream of Corruption, which does a little bit of damage against those units here. And as we currently stand, this objective is owned by the Dinos, but it looks like he's going to be yielding that for some reason. So he's going to be letting the Demons of Chaos get that objective. This is a very clinical game. Neither player wants to pull the trigger and fully engage. They're just kind of doing a little bit of skirmishing. Whoever said there wasn't skirmishing in domination, definitely take some notes here. There is quite a bit. All right, so blues gathering up. Lizards are getting ready. And, Tim has been, or Own Goal has been doing his Alpha Strike, gathering up. Not his Alpha Strike, his mass buildup, his Mordor build. Oh my God, I really need to eat something. My brain is just fried right now. But he's doing his Mordor buildup, but while getting some skirmishing value as well. The envelopment is coming, ladies and gentlemen. He's got forces gathered, generals gathering in their masses, just like witches at black masses. We do have some sorcerers of Death's Construction up here in the sky with Grand Vomitus. Oh man, Black Sabbath is so good. Oh, they got some great stuff. But Shrieking Skyrays getting poked by the salamanders. It looks like none of them are going to die. Their shields will be able to regenerate. And now the Lizardmen are going to be sounding the horn of war. Demons obviously have a double cap, but he feels confident in his army and is going to be charging forth into the onslaught and into the demonic defenses. That is a hell of a lot of units. Kind of in a choke point, though, a little bit. He's got this like mountain range right here. I know what you guys want. It's been too long. So Tim, their Own Goal, going to be gathering one unit here, one here, and advancing with the most forbidden formation possible into the enemy army. But here comes the Alpha Strike. He's going to be moving in with all of his units. Golden Riders with Skinks. Power Fist Kroxigor is going to be surging into the front line. These guys quite literally bringing the Space Marine technology. They have some of the coolest animations. When they punch the ground and then like a rock flies up and then they slam the rock into their opponent. Whoever at CA did that just deserves a raise. It's great stuff. So the objective immediately overwhelmed, and the dinosaur armor moving in fast and furious, ladies and gentlemen, getting into the secondary line immediately, led by the onslaught of the dreaded red-crested Skink Chief. Oh, dude, he's pole dancing. Did you see that? He like plants onto the ground and does a little pole dance. Immediately, we see a massive value lead for own goal. He's basically out-trading his opponent on every font. Most of the shooting of the demons is shut down here, tied up here. None of the demonic missile units are functional right now, which is very rough. And we see the value lead climbing further and further here as the demonic armies definitely needed a little bit more meat in the front lines. Because, man, those blue horrors got overwhelmed so freaking hard by the lizard onslaught. And that was just a lizard rush. Like mass lizard cav with skinks in the vanguard and then Kroxigors to really, really just bring it home. Now, no play on the high ground objective yet, but I would imagine own goal will send something up there relatively soon. But this is an absolute slaughter. The demonic army is being torn to shreds by the children of the old ones. And the Giga Chad red-crested skink chief battling versus the virgin demon prince here, although he's actually on the ground rolling around right now. So it's hard to say. I do actually enjoy Grand Vomitus. I think he's a super cool character. But the skink chief is an anti-large fighter with good stats, and he's dirt cheap. He literally costs like 750 gold or something obscene like that. So he can just fight that demon prince all freaking day and live his best life. So will the demons be able to punch back? We don't see the high ground being played yet. Now own goal. He knows that when he's winning the fight enough, he can afford to split push. So he literally allocated his entire army into that fight. The demon prince running before the champion of the great plan here. Yes, the red-crested skink chief. And Sacred Kroxigors and Fiends of Slanesh and Cold Spear Riders duking it out. Probably going to favor the dinos here, though, because the Cold Spear Riders with their anti-large bonus, the Kroxigors doing their magic damage against the Fiends will be very, very good, and the demons do look like they're going to get folded up here. Very lore accurate of lizards fighting demons it is. And now the heavy hitters of the old ones are going to be on their way in, the Ripperdactyls. So these things are anti-infantry. Very good against blues and whatnot. Demon Hounds being called in, Flesh Hounds, but guys, we almost have a 5,000 value differential in this game. I don't think it's going to go super well. And ladies and gentlemen, the high ground is going to be taken by the skinks. They're going to get that. And when that happens, Daniken probably will tap out because Daniken's army is almost gone. I mean, what is there left? This entire position completely faltered. Own goal also has his salamanders shooting into the Grand Vomitus here. And that's just a absolutely crushing victory by own goal, showing why he's one of the best players and a major event winner as well. Daniken played well, but yeah, I'm sure Daniken will be able to get revenge against own goal someday, but today was not this day. All right, guys, GG, well played. Hopefully you enjoyed the tournament tonight. Alex, thank you for the fat donation to close out the stream tonight. I appreciate the support, my friend. It means a world to me, so thank you on behalf of my wife and I. And that's going to be a victory for the dreaded Kroxigor Lord own goal. And one last thing. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. If you guys enjoyed how he played and you want to learn to play like him, there's a link to his YouTube channel. He is an amazing person, a really, really good person, very analytical, very welcoming, and just, one of the GOATs. He's a major event winner. He's also gotten second place in like 7 major events too. So he is a beast. Daniken's first tourney, playing demons and they get to the grand finals too. Hot damn. I mean, Daniken, I think, is just straight up already better than I am. So well played to Daniken. All right, guys. See you around. Take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoyed tonight's tournament. I got a jam. I got some family visiting right now, so I got to get out of here. We're going to go get a little dinner right now. But I appreciate you all. If you enjoyed what you saw on old YouTube, consider dropping a like. It helps out quite a bit. And on Twitch, consider subscribing, following, whatever you're into. But regardless, I appreciate you all. That was a very fun night tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Adios, do widzenia, and we will see you all on the other side.